Oop. Okay, that goes there. This goes here. Yep. What are we all doing? What are we all up to? How's everyone's day? I hope everyone's having a really good day. Let me get this shared on out with all the people. I just got back from New York. It was a great trip. I went to the Natural History Museum with my girlfriend. And that was really interesting. Although it for sure had me like raising like questions because so a lot of like the exhibits at like the New York Museum, it's like all these exhibits of like certain like people groups. It's, it's like the Hall of like African peoples, Hall of Asian peoples. And then there were two that were like suspiciously missing. First, obviously missing was like the Hall of European people. Um, and to that I said, And then the second group that was missing is the Hall of North American people. They had South American people, but they didn't have North American people. To which I said, hmm. It turns out that the reason why they didn't have like a hall of like North American people is because there was like some act that got passed that like forced them to return all the artifacts to like indigenous people. And it really had me wondering if there's like a bunch of like stolen shit in like all of these other halls too. I don't know. It was like kind of like a it was kind of a it was like an overarching question. Um anyway, make sure you're double tapping on that screen, sharing it with your friends, doing all that good stuff. If you're in that guest request box, make sure that you're 18 or older. Make sure that you believe in the God of the Bible, the Torah, or the Quran. That will go to the very next guest. Hey, how's it going?
Hello, Ian. How's it going?
Doing well. Are you gonna do the silly voice?
No, it's. What do you mean?
You're like speaking as if you're like Batman.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's just the way I talk. Is that bothering you?
I don't know.
Uh,
It makes me wonder if you're being genuine.
no,
But
it's just how I talk, and I'm not trying to be silly.
okay. It also sounds like it's super windy where you are.
Just my fan. You want me to turn it off?
Yeah, please.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay, okay.
Hello, Ian.
Yep,
How's it going, man?
doing well.
So, I'm 18 years old, by the way. Sorry, can you hear me? Is the mic like a bit
Yeah,
iffy?
it's totally fine, yeah. But what religion are you?
Oh, I'm a Muslim.
Okay, what makes you think God exists?
Um, I'd say that the Quran is a.
Okay. Well, make sure you're double tapping on that screen, sharing it with your friends, doing all that good stuff. Is he stealing a car? That's funny. Hey, how's it
Hey,
going?
what's up?
Yeah,
What's going on, man?
yeah, not much.
Everything
Not
good?
yeah. How old are you?
I am 28.
Yep.
No,
And what religion?
I am Jewish
Okay. What
from
makes you?
Israel
Yep. What makes you think God exists?
because I see the Bible and all no one mistake. Everything is true in the Bible.
Oh,
All
okay.
one.
Well, I mean, there are mistakes, right? It says
No,
in
no, 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 no.
of course, yeah. No, 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 no. Yeah, except yes,
Yes,
yes, yes,
show
yes,
me, show
yes.
me, show me,
Yeah,
show
it
me.
says that rabbits chew cud. They don't chew cud. That's false.
What?
Yeah, in Leviticus, I think it's like Leviticus 6. It's
No, I talking about the Old Testament. No, not you with Jesus. Only what
I'm talking about
Old
Leviticus, the
Testament.
third book of the Bible. It's literally in the Torah.
No, only Torah. I am Torah.
The
But
book.
listen,
You think the book
I
of
tell you,
Leviticus is the New Testament?
no, I don't know. No, no, only the Torah. You know, Torah, Nevi'im, and Ktuvim.
Okay.
Okay.
So I just gave you the example of like the thing, like the false thing that it says. You know, you would acknowledge that indeed Leviticus is in the Old Testament, right?
Old Testament, yes.
Yeah.
Old.
Okay. Oh, sorry. So it's Leviticus 11:6.
What he said.
Okay.
What?
The hair, for even though it chews the cud, it does not have divided hooves, it is unclean for you. But, you know, the hair doesn't chew the cud. God just makes a mistake here. God gets it wrong.
What mistake? What?
Rabbits
don't
don't chew
understand.
cud. God says that rabbits chew cud, the hair, for even though it chews the cud, but it doesn't chew the cud. God is just wrong about this.
No, you don't understand the verse.
Okay, what's your interpretation of the verse?
No, this verse I don't know about.
Oh, then how do you know that I'm misunderstanding it?
Because I don't understand you. My English is not good, but
Okay, I'm probably just gonna move on to the next one then. All right, let's go to the next one. Hey, how's it going? Dragon, are you there? Hello? Yeah, it's you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't.
Oh, that's okay. Well, hey, I currently have nobody requesting to join, so if you want to hit that guest request box, if you think that God does exist, if you think you have a backbone, you know, if you're a member of the vertebrate, I don't know, fucking phylum, genus, clade. It's probably a clade. If you're a part of the vertebrate clade, you know, you have a backbone. Feel free to request to join. You got to be 18 or older. You got to believe in the God of the Bible, the Torah, or the Quran. At the very least, I'd ask that you have some sort of reason to think that God exists, and that, you know, if nothing else, you believe that there's like an immaterial mind. If you don't think that there's an immaterial mind, then I mean, we probably just don't disagree. So I'm not really sure what the point of debating would even be. But you know, I learned a bunch of cool shit at the museum. You know, there's a lot of like really cool shit, and then there was like some other like really lame shit. You know, I talked a bit about like the lame like imperialist like fucking stealing the artifact stuff. Additionally, okay, so the way that I found out at I don't know what the name of the museum is, but it's like the Natural History Museum in New York City. It's like in Central Park. The way that I found out that they closed down their like, you know, the Peoples of North America exhibit is because there's like this little panel there that's like it goes into detail and explains like why this no longer exists, and they have like some perspectives from both sides about like why they should be allowed to, you know, keep all these stolen artifacts, and then they're contrasted with like other voices from the other side that are like, you know, stealing's wrong actually. And the arguments that they were making were like catastrophically condescending. They were like, yeah, like we need to hold on to these artifacts, you know, otherwise they're gonna get like ruined and like disappear. And it's like, okay, like you just don't trust like the indigenous people to take care of the stuff, I guess. Like it's kind of hard to find like a different reading of that other than like you just don't think that like the people who these artifacts belong to are like competent enough to actually like hold on to them for like any like extended time period. I don't know. It really raises some questions. Hey, how's it going?
Hey, I got a question for you.
Yeah, well, I have two for you. First, how old are you?
34?
And what religion?
Christianity.
Sure. Yeah, what'd you want to ask?
I've scrolled through 12 atheist lives now. They're all really upset gay guys. What is your guys' problem?
Well, I'm not gay, but I understand the way how you might come away with that impression, the way that I'm about to blow your fucking back out.
I was on your live yesterday. You said there's not a problem with being gay. You
Holy
are
shit,
gay, bro.
dude. He's like already
You're all
short-circuiting. It's like somebody already poured water on this dude. He's already like stumbling over his words. So do you have like
In a
some
way, you
reason
prove
to
the
think
Bible
that God
because it
exists?
says
Oh, he wants to
it
grandstand.
says
That's my bad.
homosexuality will separate you from God.
Sorry, where does it say
Don't
that?
you
Do you even
prove the
know?
Bible?
Wait, sorry, where does it say that?
Romans 12.
Okay, Romans
Look it up.
12. I think you mean Romans 1.
So
I think you're
so when
confused
you
about your
when
own
you
Bible.
angst all day against the Bible, you
Brutal.
prove the Bible is correct.
Oh, but I already explained this to you. I'm not gay, but maybe the fact that I've slammed you so hard means
You're
that
gay,
you
bro.
have a concussion,
You are
which is why
gay.
you forgot that.
You guys are
Nuh-uh.
obsessed with God. You guys
You're
love
obsessed
talking
with
about
gay
it
people,
all
it
day.
seems, right? You're literally obsessed with like where somebody else sticks
Every
their peen,
atheist is gay,
you know?
bro.
Oh,
Every atheist
what's the
is
argument
gay.
for that?
I'm looking at you, bro. You're all gay. You all
wait,
hate
sorry.
God.
So first of all, I'm not gay, so that would just be a trivial counterexample. But even if I was, why would it then follow from that every atheist is gay?
Because God does not like you being anti-creation.
This guy is so
Being gay
fucking
is
stupid,
fatalism,
dude.
bro. If everyone
Oh,
was gay,
God.
the species would die.
Okay. Do you want to give an argument for God's existence, or are you just are you here to like?
Do you want to give an
grandstand?
argument for being gay or what?
No, it's the God topic today.
Every single atheist is a homosexual, bro. Why is
Okay.
that?
Why does it follow from that fact that God exists?
Well, why does it follow that the Bible says homosexuality will lead to separation from God?
But
and you guys spend all day
there are Christians
obsessing
who are
about
gay.
why you hate God.
There are people who are
Are
Christian who are
are they
gay.
truly? Are they
Yeah.
actually?
Yeah, like for
Or are they
example,
just
like if you go
false?
into like the Catholic Church, there will be some people who are literally gay and celibate. Like despite being gay, you know, they've decided they've taken like a life of like celibacy because they believe that Christianity is true. How would you explain that?
I think you're gay, bro.
Can you repeat back to me what I just asked you, or were you not listening?
You're saying you're not gay, and you're saying Catholics are gay. Okay, bro.
Well, I'm
think
saying
you're in
that there are
denial.
like some people who are Catholic who are gay. That's like obviously true.
I don't think people are naturally gay. I think it's brainwashing from
Oh.
positive affirmation through society.
Well,
You
I
have
mean,
a
that's like
positive
obvious
group of people
gibberish,
saying,
but, you know.
"Oh, it's so cool to be gay. Being gay is the best. Let's have a party." And then you're like, I don't have an identity. Let me be gay. And now you're gay.
Yeah, that's super interesting.
That's
So,
your whole.
yeah,
that's your whole
I have
thing,
3
bro.
data points. Let's do some analysis on these 3 data points. So the first one is that if your identical twin is gay, there is a 65% chance that you will be gay. If your non-identical twin is gay, then there's like a 30% chance that you'll be gay. And you know, just the correspondence between 2 people that are completely unrelated, if that person's gay, there's like a 2.5% chance that you'll be gay. So given those facts, how would you explain that as you become less genetically related to somebody, that the correlation between you two being gay goes down over time? Like, how would you explain that fact? You're
I
gay.
would say that there's a
You're
90%
gay.
chance that 100% of stats are fake.
You're gay. Oh, yeah. Gosh, that's like about like the intelligence I was expecting. Yeah. Yeah, I was like
Where
preempting.
did you get all those statistics? You just
You can just
rambled
Google
off
it.
20 different
Do you
things.
want me to? First of all, it was 3
Just
things,
Google
but I
it.
understand
Google what?
you probably struggled with math, so you can't count very well.
100 years ago, they were given lobotomies and drinking radium, bro. Why don't you prove something?
Okay, sure. So, identical twins.
Okay.
Study.
Gay study.
Yep,
You're not even
okay.
prepared on your own live, bro. Get the
So
facts
the name of the
straight
study
first.
is homosexual orientation in twins, a report on 61 pairs and 3 triplet sets. That's the name of the study.
Yeah, how embarrassing. Bro's not ready on his own live. He's got to Google.
And by not ready, you mean like I don't
I'm
have
in
the
here
study memorized?
unprepared,
Or?
bro. I don't have
Wait, sorry. Do you think
ChatGPT up.
that's like unprepared to not have the name of the study memorized? Like I know what the study is, I know what the study says.
Like
I don't have the name memorized.
You're stalling, bro.
Is the sound that you make every time I blow your fucking back out. Make the sound again, cuck.
I told you you were gay, bro. I told you were
back
gay.
blown out again. You know, I'm not gay, as
You're
I've
a
already told you,
homosexual.
but I grant you probably think I'm gay the way that I'm blowing your fucking back out right now. You're literally face down, ass up, taking rhetorical back shots. Like, if I'm gay, then you're gay too. Happy Pride, twin.
You're gay, bro.
That's all he has to say in response to that.
Yeah.
Imagine getting so rhetorically dog walked, so rhetorically thwomped that all you can do at the end of that is say, you're gay. Actually rhetorically
You
devastating.
just told me your whole
dialectically
point was you weren't
devastating.
gay, and then you just talked about you're fantasizing sexually about me. You're
You
gay,
fantasize
bro.
sexually about me. You literally think that I'm
Point
gay. You think
proven.
that I put my dick in
All
other people.
atheists are homosexuals.
But you're gay too, as
All
we've
you
already
can talk about is
established.
gay shit.
You literally came on here and brought gay shit up.
I'm just pointing out by your mannerisms that you're a homosexual, and I was proven right.
He forgot
You
his
proved
own
me right.
opener, dude. Holy shit.
100% right.
Yeah. Would you have a girlfriend?
You don't.
Fucking brutal.
You
I do
don't,
have a
bro.
girlfriend. That's crazy that you're calling me gay, but between the
Is
two
it
of
a
us,
real
I'm the
girl,
one
or
and
is it
only
a-
of us who has like a girlfriend.
One and only what?
Between the two of us,
You are the
only
girlfriend,
I
bro.
have a
You
girlfriend.
just laid out your gay fantasies for us.
Nah, she thinks it's like mad funny when I talk about, especially talking down to like homophobes. By the
Mad
way, the
funny,
reason why
bro?
you're still single, the reason why you can't find anybody to like you is because of your
You
dispositions.
talking to yourself now?
No, talking to you. That's how conversations work, dipshit.
Why are you getting so angry? It's because you're a homosexual?
Oh, I just think that you're a bit of a scumbag. You know, it's not 2016 anymore, though. You mad, bro, isn't going to help you. You know, I'm just going to keep on rhetorically wailing on you, and all you're going to be able to do is short circuit and
You're gonna
reuse your
keep
same
with your
cuck
limp wristed
languages.
crying,
Whoa, cam up right now.
homosexual,
Cam up right now. Let's see it. I didn't study.
Bro,
Or
you're
I
a
didn't,
mad
sorry, I
twink,
didn't
dude.
stutter. That didn't happen.
You
We
just
can
proved the Bible
replay.
correct. All
Oh, he's
homosexuals
short-circuiting,
separate themselves
dude.
from God.
Oh, he's short circuiting. Do you think slavery is always wrong no matter what?
Not for you, bro, because you're gay.
So this Christian is pro-slavery. This guy says point blank, "I am pro-slavery." Anyone considering converting to Christianity,
pro-slavery,
let this
bro? I just
guy
clipped
know.
that. I'm gonna
be
replay it
an
on my
example
live.
of what you have
Dude
to look
said he's
forward to. This
pro-slavery?
guy thinks that
This
it's
gay
okay
guy
to
just
own
said he's
slaves. I
pro-slavery,
didn't say
bro.
that. I said that you're pro-slavery.
You literally just said
Let's
that
watch the
verbatim,
replay,
bro.
We have it all on replay. Let's just watch the
Stupid.
replay.
'Cause you're gay.
So this Christian is pro-slavery. This guy.
You just got restricted,
Oh,
bro.
he's
Homosexuals
short-
Did I restrict you?
Themselves
from That's crazy.
Oh, he's short.
Happy Pride Month, bro. You're
Always wrong,
restricted.
no matter what.
Peace out. Not for you, bro, because you're gay.
So this Christian is pro-slavery. This guy says point blank, "I am pro-slavery." Anyone considering converting to Christianity,
pro-slavery,
let this
bro? I just
guy
clipped
know. Shit, dude. So we pull up the replay, and then it just says it literally refutes him. So his claim is that I was claimed to be pro-slavery, and then I was saying that he is pro-slavery. Oh, that's brutal. You got to come off mute, cuck. Unmute, cuck. Turn off the mute button, cuck boy. Oh, and then he ran the fuck away. You know, he got back shots, he got aftercare, and now he's going home. What a good debate. Anyway, make sure you're double tapping on that screen, sharing it with your friends, doing all that good stuff. If you're in that guest request box, make sure that you're 18 or older. Make sure that you believe in the God of the Bible, the Torah, or the Quran. I also ask that you have some sort of reason to think that God exists. And with that, we'll go to the very next guest. Hey, how's it going?
Hey, it's going good. Why does it have to be specific to the God of the Bible, the Torah, or the Quran?
Just to clamp down on like yappers. Otherwise, people end up yapping. You know, they believe in like nothing in particular, and they want to talk about their belief in nothing in particular. So there's just not really much to talk about. So here's like the bare minimum. I need you to bare minimum believe that there's like a mind that created the universe, something like that.
Okay, which I do.
Okay, yeah. What makes you think that that sort of thing exists?
I mean, there's design everywhere. If you open your eyes, you can see the evidence of design everywhere.
Mm-hmm. And why would God want to create?
Why would he not?
Because, for example, you don't posit that he's like an all-good God. So it doesn't seem like there's anything to expect that he would create or wouldn't create. Like, the fact that things are designed is only evidence in favor of God if we have a reason to think that God would create in the first place. And if you're not saying that God's all good, then it seems like we have no reason to think that there would be anything in the first place.
Can you prove to me that God doesn't exist?
Sure.
This is a positive claim that you're making, and I'm not a a theologist or
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
As far as debating rules, I'm not very proficient on debating rules, but you seem to be making a positive claim.
Yep, I can do that.
Is it possible you can prove that God does not exist?
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. So now that the argument from design kind of fell apart immediately, yeah, one of two things is going to be true.
Hold on, pause real fast. Is that like an attempt at like a jab at like being like?
I'm just pointing out that you tried to give an argument and that it failed, and now I'm going to give my argument to disprove
Or are
God.
you trying to rage bait? Is that something that you do? Is that
Am I
like
trying to
part of
rage
your
bait,
show?
or are you enraged?
No, not at all. I'm just trying to understand your mindset
I'm
because
just like pointing
you're either
out
gonna have a good.
what happened.
No, you're not. No, you're not. You
Yeah,
can have
I
a
am.
conversation in good
Yeah, I
faith, or you
am.
can lie.
Did the argument succeed?
No, we're still
Sure, then
arguing.
it failed.
We're still arguing. No, we're not.
Okay.
We're
You
still
asked
having a
me
conversation.
what my
If you
reason
wanna-
to
if
think
you
that
wanna-
God
hey,
doesn't
if you wanna
exist
be a
is.
snotty
It's a
little
pivot.
kid and make stupid comments, then
What
the
was the
conversation
stupid
can
comment that I
evolve, or we
made?
can
Sorry.
have what you just said a second ago.
That your argument fell apart? It literally did. That's why you
We're
had to
having a
pivot away.
conversation.
If the
We're not
if the
pivoting,
argument
we're
didn't
having a
fall apart, then
conversation.
you wouldn't have had to pivot away just now.
I wasn't pivoting.
You
We're having a
asked me if I
conversation.
can disprove God. That's a pivot away from the design argument.
No, it's a question. That's it.
Oh, then the answer to that question
Present
is
it to
yes.
your audience however you want. If you're trying to gain brownie points with your audience and look cool, sure.
Sure. Well, if you don't want me to elaborate at all, then my answer is yes.
No, I want you to elaborate. I just want you to do it respectfully. Otherwise, I can
That's
be
a pivot.
disrespectful.
At first, we were talking about the design argument, and then we'll put like some black box here, and we can fill it out with whatever we want. From my perspective, it certainly feels like the argument fell apart. From your perspective, maybe it didn't. But anyway, here's the reason why God doesn't exist. Either God's act of creation existed eternally or didn't exist eternally. If God's act of creation is eternal, then creation is eternal. And what is eternal is not created, which means in this circumstance, God did not create. The alternative is that God's act of creation is not eternal. It has a beginning, but that means that God changes. He goes from not creating to creating, and that which changes is in time, which means that God would be in time, so he can't be the creator of time. So either way, God can't be the creator of time.
And God can't exist outside of time.
Yeah, that's correct. He can't exist outside of time because, he would either need to change or he'd need to be eternally creating, but an eternal creation is not created. And a thing that's outside of time doesn't change. So either way, God's kind of fucked.
Yeah, I respectfully disagree. I believe that God can exist outside of time.
Yeah, which part of that do you disagree with? That's the conclusion.
Yeah.
Do you want me
All of
to?
it.
Okay, here's what I can do. I'll do this just for you. We can formalize the argument. We can put it on the notepad, and then you can tell me exactly which part of this argument you think. You can tell me exactly where it goes wrong. Okay, here's what we got. Either God's act of creation is eternal or it is not eternal. If God's act of creation is eternal,
Can I respectfully ask you to
creation
put a
is
pin in for
eternal.
1 second?
Yeah,
But
what's
what you're
up?
doing, I'm making note. This is proposing that God doesn't exist outside of time. So if God,
No, it's just that God
exists
doesn't
outside of-
exist.
What's that?
It's that God doesn't exist, period.
Right, but your argument a second ago was God's eternal, therefore he can either be.
No.
I forget the exact verbiage you used, but he can either
No,
be
you're not
eternal or not
tracking.
eternal. Then therefore, if he's not eternal, then time must be eternal, right?
No. It's God's
if time-
active.
if time
It's
is
not
eternal,
God
then
being
God
eternal. Wait, you're
created anything.
confused. Sorry. I just want to clear up your confusion. My claim is not that either God is eternal or God is not eternal. It's that his act of creation is eternal or not eternal.
Right. So that's what I was trying to get you to say. So
Mhm.
if you're saying that the act of it, right, because it's eternal, you can't create something, right? If it's eternal, is that
Yes,
accurate?
correct.
Correct. But if you're outside of time, can you create something? And you can't give me some
No.
concept, visual representation, or anything other than speculation and words that time or something outside of time can't exist.
Well, that's what I'm doing right now.
You're giving me a articulate formation of something outside, like outside
Yeah, I'm
of
giving
time.
you like
not
formal
existing.
logic for why there is no thing that's outside of time that created the universe.
Okay. I'll go. Oh wait.
Yep. Okay. So if God's act of creation is not eternal, then God changes from not creating to creating. If God changes, then God is in time. And then we'll just say God is not in time. Therefore, and in fact, we'll add here, if God exists and he created, then either God's act of creation is eternal or it's not eternal. If God's act of creation is eternal, then creation is eternal. If something is eternal, then it is not created. If God's act of creation is not eternal, then God changes from not creating to creating. If God changes, then God's in time. God is not in time. Therefore, God does not exist. Which of these 6 premises would you reject?
I mean, one I reject. If God's act of creation.
You reject that if God exists and created, then either God's act of creation is eternal or it's not eternal? You reject the law of excluded middle?
I object to I object to the entire statement because God is outside of time. And you can't prove to me and show me.
How does that disagree with premise 1, saying God's outside of time? How would that disagree with that?
Because if God exists and he
Does
created...
the word time appear anywhere in premise 1?
Doesn't need to. Your whole everything that you're stating...
So this doesn't disagree with premise 1.
Is that God has to exist within some framework that makes sense to you. And
oh, I wish you would have led with that then. Yeah. So then here's the disproof of God. He violates laws of logic.
Sure. I would agree with that. Absolutely.
Yep. And that's strictly false. Saying that something exists that violates laws of logic is strictly false. You can logically deduce it.
Like I'm guessing here, probably well outside of my scope. Maybe I forget your partner's name. God, can't remember his name.
Dr. Blitz?
Blitz. Yeah. But I'm pretty sure there was a lot of things on the subatomic level that defy the laws of logic, my friend, that we don't understand. Yet you don't hear you arguing those points.
Wow, you really name dropped Blitz like it was a fucking drive-by before dropping that take.
What's that?
It's just not true. There are no violations of laws of logic on the subatomic level.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Einstein's claim of spooky occurrences or spooky, I forget what he called it, spooky something.
Spooky action at a distance. It's, by the way, not a violation of the laws of logic.
Sounds so definitive and so logically explainable. Come on, man.
It's not a violation of a law of logic. If it is, then specify which law of logic it is.
You don't even know what he's logic. He doesn't know what logic he's referencing. There's nothing to explain. He can't explain it.
Not being able to explain something is different from it violating laws of logic.
Yeah, you can't explain to me how quantum entanglement works. Yet it's something
I probably could, but
happens.
I also don't think that that's relevant. You know, just because even if I couldn't explain it, which by the way, I can't explain how quantum entanglement happens, but let's say I couldn't explain quantum entanglement, it wouldn't follow from that fact that laws of logic are being violated just because I can't explain something.
No, my point was laws of logic are being violated all the time, and you don't argue that.
Which one?
I just explained it to you.
Name the law of logic.
The law of logic. I'm referencing what I just said to you. I'm talking about spooky action at a distance.
Which law of logic does that violate?
I have no idea. I don't
none
know.
of them is the answer.
Yeah, no. Then prove it to me. You can make the statement that proves what you just said.
Okay,
you can make that statement.
Yeah, there are 3 classical laws of logic. We got the law of identity. A is A. The law of excluded middle. P or not P. the law of non-contradiction, P and not P is false.
So the law of non-contradiction, let's go with that. How can something be in superposition?
It's not a contradiction.
Sure it is. It's in two, it's logic. We try and make sense
It's
of it,
in
right?
two different superpositions. It's not in two different positions.
No, it's one particle in two separate positions.
No, that's not what superposition is.
Here.
So
Let me get my other phone. Hold on.
it's not a contradiction insofar as being in one superposition is not mutually exclusive with being in like a separate superposition. Like a thing can be in a spin up superposition and a spin down superposition, because being in a spin up superposition doesn't entail that you're not in a spin down superposition.
I honestly, man, respectfully, I think you just say things and use your argument as some sort of insulating way of this status quo that you try and preach to these people. And it's sad because you don't. You cannot disprove God. You just can't. You can
Except,
come on here and say,
except that I
"What's
did.
that?" You didn't.
I did.
No, you didn't.
You think you just conceded to me that God is illogical. What is illogical is false.
No, I said God is outside of time. And
You said he's
whether I
outside. You
it's
said he's
illogical,
illogical. You said he's outside of logic.
I said he's outside of time, but I'll agree with it. He's illogical. Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll also agree with that.
Yep. And what is illogical is false.
Okay. Well, you and I disagree.
Okay. So then you just reject logic.
Yeah, you know what? Absolutely. In
Okay.
reference to God, absolutely.
Listen, if you want to say point blank that your belief is illogical, then I'm fine accepting that. You know, I'm not going to believe things that are illogical.
Okay, fair enough. But
I'm not
come on
sure
here
why
and
you
preach to
would.
people. You come on here and preach to people that you know definitively, and you don't.
I do.
No, you don't.
I do.
You can say it
You
with
just
confidence all
conceded that
you
your
want.
belief is illogical. I do.
That doesn't negate my belief, though.
Yes, it does.
Based
That's
on the
exactly
framework
what
that
something being a violation of laws
No,
of
it's
logic
not.
does. It
No.
disproves it.
I'm simply stating that it doesn't. You cannot put the infinite. You can't put God into a framework that makes sense. I know you want to because you have an analytical, scientific mind, and that's great. But you cannot do it.
The
as
problem
much as you
isn't
try
that
to do it,
it
it
doesn't
doesn't.
make sense. The problem is that it's a violation of laws of logic. Something cannot make sense and still be within logic. You know, for example, I don't know, there are like aspects of, say, like general relativity that don't make sense. At least, like, they don't make sense to me. But the fact that it doesn't make sense to me, it doesn't follow that there's like some contradiction there.
Okay, you say let's go with that line of thinking. You say that there's some things that maybe don't make sense to you, and since they don't make sense to you, they aren't necessarily not true, right?
Yeah.
Is that the same premise? But at the cutting edge of science and the cutting edge of let's just say science, don't you think that there are things also that don't make sense to the most intelligent minds
Mhm.
of our species?
Yeah.
They go, man, this doesn't make any sense, and it maybe doesn't defy the laws of logic, but maybe it does.
Well, no, it doesn't, because, you know, violations of the laws of logic are strictly false. If it violated the laws of logic, then there would be no point even trying to explain it, because, you know, from a violation of the laws of logic, absurdities follow. Like, everything is true if the laws of logic don't hold. From a contradiction, you can literally deduce the truth of any statement you want.
At first glance, I want to agree with you if it defies the laws of logic, that or not defies the law. Yeah, if it defies the laws of logic or is illogical, that you may be able to give this claim that it's I don't know. I just
What it
I
is
find it
false.
hard to believe that someone would try and you can't just say that it's false. You can
It
say that I
is.
don't understand it.
No, you can say that it's false. There's the type of proof called proof by contradiction. So you demonstrate that something is true by showing how the negation of that thing leads to a contradiction. So from the violation of the laws of logic, you can affirmatively prove something to be the case. Because if something violates the laws of logic, it's strictly false.
So let me ask you then, how do you explain our existence? How do you explain the scaffolding that has been built over eons and eons of interconnected, symbiotic relationships that work hand in hand and seem absolutely in cohesion with design, yet you
Like what?
just say it happens? So if you have a Big Bang, right? Do you believe in the Big Bang?
I do, yeah.
Okay. So if everything is outwardly moving, right? I don't want to say the word explosion because Blitz doesn't like the word explosion, but technically it is an explosion.
Technically,
all
it's
moves
not.
up.
An explosion
Yeah,
is a
look up the word
combustion
explosion.
reaction.
Bring up on your little clipboard the word explosion.
Okay, you want, let's Google
Definition.
explosion.
Just look up the Webster's definition of it.
Yeah. Is a rapid expansion in volume of a given amount of matter associated with an extreme outward release of energy, usually with the generation of high temperatures and releases of high pressure gases. Well, that's not really what happens at the Big Bang.
In the
You know,
Big
the
Bang,
Big
you're gonna
Bang
tell
has
me
made
that you
things.
didn't just describe the Big Bang in
Well, yeah,
detail?
there's like a couple of
An
things.
outward release of an
Let me walk
expansion,
you
rapid
through. Let me
expansion
walk
of
you through
matter.
all of the things
No,
that aren't
don't
in
walk me
alignment
through
with
it.
the Big
No,
Bang.
you just stepped in it,
So
my
the
friend. Be
first one
respectful.
is that volume. It's an expansion in a volume. The Big Bang isn't an expansion in volume. It's the expansion of volume itself. Volume itself is the thing that's expanding. It's not like just something that
So
expands
listen, I don't
within
want to
like
get
some
lost in the
greater
weeds.
volume
We know
overall.
what explosion is.
In
But if
terms
everything's
of
moving
like
out
something
linearly,
that
right?
increases temperature, it's not that either, because when objects get, you know, more spread out, they get less, they get way colder. That's why it went from a hot dense state to a less hot state. Space is currently very cold.
You're describing entropy, right? So the increase of entropy through
No, not even.
that's okay. So listen, instead of getting lost in the weeds, let's just have the conversation about the expansion of the universe, right?
Yeah.
It moves out. All of these particles were packed into a tightly cohesive piece, right? One smaller unit that then expanded rapidly outwards. Is that fair to say?
Wait, sorry, give that description one more time.
A bunch of matter was dense that suddenly expanded outwards rapidly.
Sure.
Okay, we can both agree on that.
And so specifically, it's like space-time as well as the thing that's expanding outwards.
Sure. But if you're expanding outwards into a void, right? And we can't really understand what's beyond that void unless somebody races out to the edge of the universe and says, "Oh, I can peek over the
It's a category
horizon,"
error
right?
to say that there's like an outside of the void, or to say that there's like an outside of space.
I'm not stating it as a fact. I'm just kind of hypothesizing here. Okay.
It's a category error.
You can't speculate.
It's not even speculation. It's a category error. Space is the place where there are locations. There are not locations outside of space.
So anyway, back to what we were saying. So as this stuff expands outward, right, we have a few, right, laws, or not laws, but governing forces. We have heat, we have gravity, right? We have matter.
Heat isn't a force. Matter isn't a force.
I didn't.
I thought you said a few
governing,
governing forces.
I guess, yeah, heat can be a force because heat can cause expansion and contraction. So yeah.
Heat causes things, but heat itself is not a force.
Okay.
But sorry, I don't want to get into the weeds as you're saying. Sure. So we have heat, we have gravity, we have matter, etc. Yeah. What next?
These things are expanding out rapidly, linearly, right? Then how do
not
we
linearly? That's not true.
in all directions, right? Now,
That's not what linear means. A linear expansion refers to an expansion that's like constant in rate.
hold on, repeat that because I just had to ignore a call. I had a phone.
Yeah.
Say-
So linear refers to like a linear expansion is
Straight
an
line,
expansion
straight line.
that's
Linear is a straight line.
linear refers to a constant expansion rate.
Ian, I'm trying to work with you here. I know you got some
Yeah.
quirks, and that's fine. I'm willing to work with them. I got
so the
some
problem
quirks,
is
probably
you keep saying
willing to work
false
with my
things. You
quirks.
know, my quirk is
They're
that
not-
when
it's
you
not
say
false.
false
You
things,
just
I'm
wanna
going to
get- you wanna
correct
get-
you.
Right. So if we have matter that's expanding out rapidly in all directions. Is that
Mhm.
fair to say?
Sure. We have specifically what's expanding is space. Space is expanding.
And matter within it.
Yes.
Okay. So now that we've set the playing field and we understand the rules, explain to me how you now have a fully functioning heart, fully functioning set of lungs that work symbiotically with trees. Explain to me how random particles moving in all directions now cohere into these very complex, very detailed, synaptic, working bodies. It just doesn't. No, it doesn't make sense.
Oh, wait. Do you want me to
Obviously,
give the
you're familiar with
explanation, or did you just want to say no and be incredulous?
Wasn't being
It
incredulous.
sounded like you were about to
Maybe-
ask me a question, like, could you explain how we got here?
And
To which
here's
my
where you
answer is
backfire and
yes. I
sputter, my
can't
friend. You
explain
break
that.
down and wanna make
But then you
insults,
kind
but
of
I'm
like
trying
took
to
it away,
explain
and
to
then
you
you
in good
said,
faith.
no,
No.
this doesn't make any sense. I have a far more plausible hypothesis. One day God said abracadabra, and then the universe appeared, and then he said alakazam, and then the earth appeared.
And this is where you crash out. You can't help but you can argue.
Sorry.
And you said, I want to call you out on something.
Yeah, I had a little
What did you
crash
say-
out just
what did you
now.
say to him? You called him a
But on the
cuck or something
basis
like
of
that?
like,
One of your
whoa,
previous-
whoa,
one of your
whoa,
previous
let's
guests-
just calm down there, mouth breather. There's no need to be getting this upset. How about I
I'm
just
not
go
upset at
through
all.
and give you the explanation for the things that you
Hey,
wanted
I'm not
explained?
upset. Okay, I'll put my camera up.
Sure.
You can see my
Okay.
face. There's nothing.
So here's the
nothing upset about-
explanation
Hold
for
on,
the
hold on,
things
time
that
out.
you. Whoa.
Listen, Junior.
Just
I know
whoa.
you're
Just calm down
sputtering.
there.
Hey, listen,
There's no
Junior.
need for you to be getting upset.
I know
just
you're
dial it
sputtering.
down,
I see the
dipshit.
sparks.
It's really gonna be okay.
I'm okay. Are you?
I'm not sure that you are okay.
I'm arguing in good faith. That was a long pause.
You're
Are
not
you okay?
arguing in good faith. That's not true.
I am.
You're so
You just
not
wanna be
arguing in good
sarcastic.
faith that you need to derail to meta right now. I'm trying to give you a substantive answer to the question that you asked. And you're literally so dedicated to
you
arguing
were
in bad
being
faith that you
sarcastic.
can't even engage with it.
No, you were being sarcastic.
Sarcastic about what?
Almost everything that you state is sarcastic.
Oh.
And I'm sure
I don't
you're
think
probably
that's
used to being
true.
on here. Yeah. When you call somebody a cuck or you make little snide comments.
Oh,
that's
well,
not
calling
arguing
that
in
dude
good
a
faith.
cuck
You're
was
trying
like
to-
funny and true. So yeah, I'm gonna probably keep on doing that. I'm sorry if the way that I've talked to the last guest offended you.
It's not that it
this is
offended
not a
me.
safe space
just-
for
I
people that
think-
get offended. I'm sorry that it offended you. But
It
I'm
didn't
not
offend me.
interested in
But it
litigating
didn't offend
the
me.
people who I
I'm
will
just
and won't
curious.
call
I
a
had a
cuck.
question as to whether or not if that gentleman was in your face, if he was standing right next to you, if you would
Yes.
employ the same
Yes.
tyrannical bullshit. That I don't
Yes,
think
I
you
would. Yeah,
Bullshit.
absolutely. Oh, if you want to
Bullshit.
call bullshit on that, I'm actually doing a live show. It's going to be this October in New York.
Okay.
You should show up to that, and I'll say whatever you want me to say to your face. Anything that I've said over the internet that you want me to say to your face, I will.
It's not me. I just think you're. I think you're
I'm more than
disingenuous.
willing to demonstrate it to you by calling you a cuck to your
Yeah.
face. I have no problem with that.
I think that you're.
I'm not afraid of anybody over the
Kyle,
internet or in person.
doesn't
I don't
have
care.
the ability to have a common, normal conversation without being sarcastic, and you do
Hmm.
it because you hide behind
What's
this.
one
fucking,
thing that I've said that's sarcastic?
I just told you? You called that dude a cuck.
Okay. Yeah, that dude was calling me gay over and over. Like, yeah, I'm
Okay,
gonna call
just
him
a
a
second
cuck.
ago when I called you out, when I called you out for being sarcastic, when it was there was nothing.
Also,
that
that's
prompted,
not
nothing in my-
sarcastic. It's just an insult.
A minute ago when I said to you, I said, "Are you trying to be sarcastic?" When you had made a comment to me, unprovoked, and then you started.
Which one?
Well, no, I'm not really trying to be sarcastic. You
Which
know
one?
that you are. That's the part that's
Wait,
disingenuous
sorry,
about
wait,
you.
which one? What comment?
I don't know. Go back and play it back. Play back the first 30 seconds of our conversation.
Oh, when
minute
I
of our
said
conversation.
that your argument fell apart? That's not
Correct.
a
I didn't- there was
sarcastic
nothing
comment. That's a
provoked.
statement of fact.
Instead of moving forward in good faith, all you had to say was,
Because I'm not
Let's
going to let
continue
you
the
sweep your mistakes
conversation.
under the rug.
I
If you
didn't-
don't
no one
want
had
your
swept-
mistakes
hey,
to be
listen.
pointed out, then don't make them.
"No, that's not what happened.
That is.
You
You came in, you
plenty
got
of-
spawn killed on the design argument, and then you tried to pivot away,
Bullshit,
trying to
man.
shift
Bullshit.
the burden to me and
Bullshit.
say,
Nope, no one
well,
tried to shift
what's your
anything. You're a
disproof
fucking
of
coward.
God? Do you want me to replay the
You're a
clip? I can
coward.
replay the clip. It's literally,
Yeah,
I'll give
go
you the
replay it all
play-by-play,
you
and then we'll
want.
replay it,
I'm
and then I'll point
pointing
out to you
I'm
exactly
pointing
how
out
it
to you.
went. What
Hey, I'm
happened is you
pointing out
came
to
in
you that
here,
all
you
you had to do was
complained
continue
about
the
whether or
conversation.
not you would
Instead, no
allow,
one
or I would
complained. We're
allow
having
you
a
to debate me
conversation.
about whether
I
or
know
not
that
God
you don't
exists on
like
the
to have
basis of your
those.
definition. And
Yeah.
then what happened is I said, no, it just needs to be a mind that created the universe. You said, okay. And then I asked you, what's your argument for God's existence? You said, well, the design argument, everything is so designed. So I pointed out to you that if your God is not all good, then there's no reason that we would expect for there to be anything as opposed to nothing in the first place. To which you said, well, what's your disproof of God? And then I point out at that point that your argument fell apart.
You mind if I speak now?
Do you want to watch the replay?
No, I'd rather speak right now.
Oh, okay.
You asked
You
me
don't
a
want to watch
question,
the
I answered.
replay?
So can I speak or no?
Sure, go for it.
Okay. Your site, your show, your platform is designed to rage bait people, get good views. That's great.
Am I trying to
understand.
rage bait or are you enraged?
Right now, I'm trying to talk. I'm not enraged at all. I'm
You
just
sound
pointing out a fact.
enraged.
Nope. You can
You keep on
trying.
getting triggered and you pivot to meta. You know, every time you get triggered, you pivot to meta, except for this time when you got triggered
go again.
and you did like
Who's
your fake
crashing out? I'm
laugh
trying to have a conversation. I asked for permission to talk, and you still can't do it. So who's
because you
crashing out?
opened up with lying.
Not because is not an answer. You can either respect what I
It
asked
is an answer.
or not.
Oh, sorry. Then
No,
no,
it's
I'm
not.
not going to strictly respect your ability to speak for
But
however
don't
long
wanna
you want
have
to
the
speak.
same rules apply to you, so I shut
You
up
can
and let
interrupt
talk.
me. In
It's
fact,
your
you do
word.
interrupt me. And that's fine. I don't care that you interrupt me. You're more than welcome to. You've been doing
that's
it,
not a
and that's
conversation.
fine. You're
It's not a
absolutely
conversation,
welcome to
respectfully.
interrupt me. Wait, if it's not a conversation to interrupt people, then that means that by your own standard, you wouldn't be having a conversation because you interrupt people.
I just asked I made a very simple request. Can I speak without being interrupted? You said
No.
yes, and then you interrupted me. That's fine.
Absolutely not. You can't just speak at length without being interrupted.
I wasn't speaking at length. I was trying to illustrate my point.
You can speak for
And
as
this is
long
part of your
as
gig, is if
false
you-
things
you
don't come out
throw
of your
enough
mouth.
fodder out there,
And
you throw
then
enough fodder to
as
fucking
soon
screw
as
people
a
up,
false thing
because
comes
it's-
out of your mouth,
yeah,
I'm
no,
going
it's
to interrupt
exactly
you
what you do, buddy.
and we're going to sort it out.
All you do is you sit here and throw these little smoke screens up, try and throw people off. You make little stupid comments like you sound like you're enraged.
Hmm.
I'm not enraged.
And
Nothing
all you
about
do
my
is
voice right now.
cry.
No, there's no crying over here. Do
You're
do you
literally
see me
on
cry?
meta because you lost the God debate so hard. You lost the God debate in such a catastrophic fashion that all you can do now is
Yo,
whine. You're
Bait me up, boy.
whining.
Bait me up. Let me see the rage. Do
You're
you see me getting
whining.
enraged? You're a fucking coward, kid. Who
Yeah?
hides behind a fucking
You think?
Yes.
Wait, then turn your camera on. You
100%.
said you'd turn your camera on to demonstrate that you're not
Bring it up.
enraged. Turn it on. I don't see it.
There you go.
It's not on.
What's the deal?
Whoa, he's shirtless. Holy shit. He also looks
Yeah,
exactly like
doing
his
laundry.
profile picture. No,
Did you
I'm just
expect me
doing
to look
this
any
for
different?
I'm just doing this for the thumbnail that we're gonna make.
Great. Do all you need.
Okay. Okay.
I'm gonna put the phone down so I can continue doing my laundry.
Okay.
So now that we've disproven I'm raged and irritated, whatever it is, dude. You're a coward, kid. You
Hmm.
hide behind a freaking platform. You try and bait people into
Who's
getting
hiding?
angry. You.
You hide
You.
behind Meta. We were having a debate about
Behind
whether or
Meta?
not
No,
God
have a
exists.
conversation
You asked
with
me
me.
to explain the chain of events from, the rapid expansion of the universe to the fact that we have hearts. And I was going to
Go
do
ahead.
that. Yeah.
Continue.
Yep. So after the universe
to
is
me how
rapidly
we had that,
expanding, we have
and
all
we
of
can
these
have all of
forces
this
that derive from the
intricate design.
geometry of space-time forces like gravity. So after energy is rapidly deposited into these various fields, electron fields, gluon fields, quarks, etc., it combines into atoms via the geometry of all these fields interacting
It just
together.
combines. I love that. Hold
No,
on. What did you
via
say?
the
Abracadabra?
geometry.
Hold on. No. Wait. You said it just combines, and this is me
Via
interrupting.
the
you.
geometry.
That's the equivalent of
Did you not
abracadabra.
listen?
It just combines. That's
Via
the
the
equivalent of abracadabra.
geometry. Do you want me to elaborate? I can elaborate on the connection there. So
Yeah, no.
specifically, when
Explain
things
to me with your
distort
technical,
fields,
it just
yes.
combines.
Ooh, I don't think I said it just
Fucking
combines. I don't think I said that. I think I said that it combines via the geometry of these fields.
Yeah, the geometry. Great explanation.
Do you want me
Very
to elaborate on
scientific.
it? I can elaborate
You
on
win the
it.
fucking
You're asking me
retard
to,
award.
just so you're aware, you're asking me to compress 13
Listen,
billion
Tom,
years of
you
history
win the
into 30
retard
seconds.
award.
Is there, like, if
Very
you want me to
good.
go into detail in a specific area,
I
I'm
want
more
you
than
to
happy
use
to.
fucking
But of
technical
course, I'm
terms
not
like
going
it
to be
just
able to give you like the
combines.
exhaustive
That's
description
what I
of 13
want.
billion years.
Technical terms like it just combines.
I don't think I said it just
You see how
combines.
fucking-
I don't think I
Do
said
you see
that.
how that is though, dude? When somebody's sitting
I
there
could
and
be
you're trying to
wrong
have a
about
good
this, but I'm pretty
conversation
sure I didn't
and
say
good
that. I think
bait
I
and they
said that
continuously
it
interrupt you.
combines via the geometry of these fields.
Via the geometry is no more explanatory.
Do you want me to elaborate on it? I can elaborate on it.
Numb nuts. Go ahead, elaborate.
Sure. Yeah.
Try
Wait,
to
are you
do
done?
something
Like,
better
are you
than just
done
combine
freaking the fuck
via
out? Are
geometry.
you? Oh, sorry. You wanted to soy out more. Go for it.
It's soy out. Go ahead, Junior.
Are you
Let's
done
hear it.
soying out?
No, I'm done listening to someone use terms like abracadabra. Oh,
Are you done? He's so mad, dude. He's so mad. Holy shit! Look at his face. Oh god, he had to like reorient his face. Oh no. Oh, brutal. Oh yeah, he is enraged.
so angry. So
Yeah. So yeah.
Can
he
you still
felt
see
so
my face?
insecure. I don't know. Maybe you're insecure about your body. I don't want to.
Hey.
I don't want to dig in on you on that. That's why you felt the need to
Yeah,
like
I'm
lift your
super
phone
insecure
up really
about my body.
quickly or something.
super insecure.
Yeah. You gotta get
I'm
like,
doing my
the
laundry, by the way.
fucking like straight up face. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So are you done with your like angry soy rage? Like,
are you actually
what's the
making
thing that you want me to
fucking
elaborate
lipstick?
on? You want me to elaborate on like the geometry of space time and
are
the
you actually
geometry of
making
various
lipstick?
fields? Yeah.
Hey, listen, Harry Potter. Are you actually making
Yeah, I am.
lipsticks? Okay.
You think I look like Harry Potter? I don't think I look very much like Harry Potter anymore.
Jesus, dude. Go ahead with your nonsense.
Yeah. What thing do you want explained?
Explain to us again through what was that technical term you used? It just combines.
I don't think I said it just combines.
No, you said through geometry or something. Go ahead.
Oh, you keep on representing it as I said it just combines. I don't think I said that. Do you want?
Go back and
If you'd like,
play it.
I
Go-
can.
go
well,
read-
so
go-
here's
go-
what we can do. Here's what we can
go-
do.
no,
We can
go
get the.
replay it. I
Whoa,
wanna hear
wait,
it.
Jesse. How
Let's
about we
go
do
replay
this?
it.
How
Go
about we do
replay
this,
it. Hold
Jesse?
on.
How
Go
about we
replay it.
hit the replay and then we'll see if I said it just combines or whether I said it combines via the
Just
geometry.
combines. It combines.
I'm gonna read.
They're the same thing, buddy.
These are not the same
It is
thing.
a-
Saying
it
that
is
it's a
a
brute
wo-
fact
it is
versus
a
that it's like a fact
woefully
explainable by like
Hey.
mathematical, like further mathematical facts.
When you go and make a statement that God says
Can I speak
abracadabra
without
in the
being
universe,
interrupted?
you said
No.
yes.
Then
This-
you interrupted.
that's
Absolutely
fine.
not. You can't just
Wait,
speak at
let's
length
just,
without being interrupted. Here you
I
go.
wasn't speaking at length. I was trying to illustrate my point.
And then as
All you do is you sit here and throw these little smoke screens up.
Hmm.
I'm not enraged.
because you lost the God debate so hard. You lost the God debate in such a catastrophic fashion that all you can do now is
Yo,
whine. You're
Bait me up, boy.
whining.
Bait me up. Let me see the rage. Do you
You're
see me getting
whining.
enraged? You're a fucking coward, kid. Who
Yeah?
hides behind a fucking
You think?
yes.
Wait, then turn your camera on. You
100%.
said you turn your camera on to demonstrate that you're not
Bring it up.
enraged. Turn it on. It's not on. Shirtless. Holy. Doing
You look
this
any
for okay.
So now, coward, kid. You
Hmm.
hide behind.
You hide
You.
behind meta. It's from the rapid expansion of the universe.
Okay, here
the
we go.
fact that we have hearts. And I was gonna
Go
do
ahead.
that. Yeah.
Continue.
Yep. So after the
Explain
universe
to
is
me how
rapidly
we have that,
expanding, we have
and
all
we
of
can
these
have all of
forces
this
that derive from the
intricate design.
geometry of space-time forces like gravity. So oh, there it was. These forces that derive from the geometry of space-time. There's the first one. After energy is rapidly deposited into these various fields, electron fields, gluon fields, quarks, etc., it combines into atoms via the geometry of all these fields interacting
just
together.
combines-
Yep, combines via the geometry of them interacting together. I didn't say that it just combines. It combines via the geometry of the fields, which I'm happy to elaborate on. But frankly, you sound like you haven't taken a physics class since high school. So I'm not sure if you care much about that. Oh, I don't know if you realized this, but you were muted for the replay.
Hey, bring your buddy Blitz up here. You can't get on here and make some.
Do you really want Blitz to talk to you too?
Yeah, I actually like Blitz.
Blitz is gonna
Blitz
beat
is-
the
Blitz-
dog fuck out
Blitz-
of you on this.
Blitz is listen, man. Blitz actually has some respect. He has
Okay.
a scientific mind. He's not a moron like you. So
Okay,
okay.
Dr. Blitz, have
What's
you been
going on?
listening?
Unfortunately,
Yeah. Do you think I said
So Blitz,
something? Do you think it's accurate to say that the geometry of these fields and the geometry of space-time led
just-
to like the combination of all these like various particles?
sure, that seems fine.
Okay.
Probably overstating the case, but yeah, that's fine.
Blitz, I think you'll be able to give a coherent, articulate answer. His answer did not suffice for me since he made the comment that God abracadabras things into existence, and then he says, "Well, all the matter, it comes together through geometrical, whatever it was that you said." It's not an answer,
Yeah,
dude.
there are particles in a curved space-time. those particles interact depending on their distance, depending on their velocity. Those interactions can cause bound states like protons, like neutrons. And those protons and neutrons can form bound states with electrons, and those form atoms. And those atoms can form bound states with other atoms, which form molecules. And molecules can bind together via van der Waals forces, which form people.
So Blitz, I don't know if you heard me say it. I do have a lot of respect for you. I think I've never had a conversation that's been disrespectful to you. So if you want me to speak, I'll speak. Otherwise, I'm going to wait until you're finished.
I was finished.
All right.
That's what happens when I stop talking.
Appreciate it. It's still, your answer lacks the...
That seems like a you problem, though, not a me problem. Like,
I'll be quiet. Go ahead. I wasn't done speaking.
What,
So
what part needs help? What part do you need more explanation for?
That for you. How do we get from point A to point B? Right? I.e., you said particles to bound states to humans, right? As you and I have had this conversation in the past, that doesn't really jive with these laws and forces of the universe with expanding matter, right? That doesn't make sense to say, oh, well, this
it
just
does.
happens. Hold on, I'm not done. This just happens because of these things. You're not talking about just like things randomly sticking together. You're talking about very, very complex particles coming together to form very complex systems. And you're just telling me based on these laws, and I'm just going to say that if that's okay. No, I'm not. I'm just going to disagree with you is what I'm going to do, because it's not an explanation.
Okay, which part do you need more? Do you need more elaboration on? Also, hi YouTube.
Just simply how we get from rapid expansion, particles moving in all directions, to complex systems like human beings working symbiotically that, in my opinion, present way more evidence of design than just random things happening.
To be clear, I gave a brief overview of the steps that you go from rapid expansion in the very early universe to now. Right. Is there one particular step that you want me to elaborate on, or?
Yeah, I would say if you can, please. Go ahead.
Which step? I offered like a chain of like 4 different steps. Which step do you want me to elaborate on?
Please give us some sort of chronological or not chronological, maybe chronological order that's going to lead to what I just said. Complex.
I already did. Were you not listening?
I did, but
minutes ago?
as I told you a second ago, it wasn't sufficient. I don't think stating...
Okay, so which part do you need me to expand on? I summarized 13.8 billion years of history in 6 sentences. What part do you need me to expand on? I'm happy to do so.
Yeah, then I'll simply say if that 6 sentences suffices for what we have now from simple particles and the beginnings of the Big Bang, then that's the equivalent of abracadabra.
I'm asking you to tell me which part you want me to expand upon. I'm happy to talk about any of these phases at length.
I just said that if those 6 sentences, as you stated, are sufficient to you, they are not to me. They're not to anybody who seeks God or tries to believe in...
Can you summarize back what Blitz said?
Listen, Brownie boy, no one's talking to you. Just be quiet.
Well, I'm talking to you. Can you summarize back to us what Blitz just said?
I don't care. Listen, you're rude.
Am I allowed to do ideation on this live stream?
Yeah.
Of the unaliving kind?
Yeah,
because I feel like that's what's going to happen.
Oh, you mean for yourself?
Yeah.
Oh.
Because there are words I want to say about this back and forth. Because, like, look, I've said the same thing 3 times. I'm just asking for which part you want clarification on. And it doesn't seem like Jesse is interested in actually, like,
well, I mean, Blitz, like, you know what
I just made my statement.
Blitz, you know what the real problem is, which is that Jesse just straight up didn't fucking listen.
If those 6 sentences are your summation and you think they're sufficient, I'm telling you they're not. And they are the equivalent. They are the equivalent to his abracadabra claim.
It's a summary. Which part do you want me to expand upon?
So is abracadabra. Would you agree that
Blitz,
abracadabra?
You should just ask him because he's terrified of me. You should probably just ask him to summarize back what you just said, because he literally won't be able to because he wasn't listening.
That's a good question. What do you think I said, Jesse?
You said I summarized 13 billion years in 6 sentences. That was what you said.
Can you summarize back for me the summary?
No, not verbatim. I don't know. You said that there are bound states. Some things come together to some degree, that was that's all I got, was that you think that particles are randomly floating around and then come together based on bound states and laws, and now we have complex human beings, and you know,
There were like 4 steps between bound
Yeah.
states of particles to people.
and I just said I don't remember all of them verbatim, but 6
Okay.
sentences is a pretty
It's short. Yeah.
yeah.
You're
So like, is there a
was
specific
abracadabra.
part of those 6
So was
sentences you want me to
abracadabra.
elaborate on?
What's that?
Is there a specific one of those sentences that you want me to elaborate on?
I would like you
happy
to
to do
elaborate
it.
on any of them that are going to give some sort of a more detailed explanation as to how we arrive where we're at now. I think
Okay,
6
well,
sentences
you
to
have to
summarize
tell me which
13
parts
billion
you
years
don't
of
understand.
existence. Yeah, I think 6 sentences to summarize 13 years of existence in complex systems is not sufficient, and you
Wait.
shouldn't think it is either.
Jesse, I know I'm like the boogeyman to you. I know you're like probably
You're not
like
the boogeyman, you're a
terrified of
boring
talking to
twat,
me.
dude.
You're like
You're
a bit
I know,
scared to
listen,
even like allow me
you're
to
a boring
speak. But
twat. That's
if
what you are.
whoa, just
You're a
calm down
boring
there,
twat,
Jesse.
kid.
Jesse, just
Hey,
calm down,
you're
take
a
a deep breath.
boring
It's really gonna
twat.
be okay. I know
You're a
this
boring
debate went bad
twat.
for you, which is why you're short
That's it.
circuiting. All you can
No,
say is you're an
nothing went
annoying twat.
bad.
You're an annoying twat.
You're a
Your
bad-
insults are
you're
so
a-
bad you
you're
can
a
literally
bad
only
debater, you're a
recycle it.
bad
Bad debator, bad
conversationalist.
conversation. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm also bad in bed with
Crash
your
out,
wife.
buddy. Let's see it.
Let's go. I'm also a bad dancer.
Agreed.
Granted, yeah. So if Dr. Blitz gave you a technical explanation, would you even understand it?
Does it matter?
Yeah,
Why?
because
He's a
Dr.
teacher.
Blitz is trying
Dude,
to
he-
explain things
Dr.
to you
Blitz
at the
is a
level
teacher.
that you're
Should he
at.
not be able to teach things to people who are less informed and educated than he is?
Obviously, a
Hey,
teacher
Blitz,
is
are you
going
a
to
teacher?
adjust. Obviously,
Blitz, let me ask you a question. Are you a teacher?
Well, okay,
And this is
he's,
why I
he's
don't
not
like talking to you,
interested.
because you don't know how to shut up.
You literally
Blitz, are you a
interrupted me,
teacher?
you stupid fuck. I don't even know. Oh my God. Okay. So I don't know. This is like rhetoric 101, but you need to meet your audience where they're at. The types of conversations that Blitz
This
and
isn't
I
my
have,
audience.
like I
I'm
know,
here for
I
you,
know a
and that's
little
it.
bit about
That's it.
physics. I don't know. I have tons and tons to learn about physics, but I know a little bit about physics. So Dr.
Yeah.
Blitz, when I'll ask him a question, he'll give me technical answers that
You know
are
enough to make a
technical in
statement
some
like
regards.
things come together through
But
geometrical.
things will be technical in ways that they
Yeah.
wouldn't be if Dr. Blitz was talking to some rando that doesn't know anything. So obviously, Dr. Blitz adjusts his explanations based on the technical level of the person he's talking to. That's obvious.
Therefore, he should adjust it. He should adjust it for someone. If he's a teacher, he should have the ability to explain these, very scientific and detailed theories to someone of lesser intellect than he is.
Yep, that's
I'm not
absolutely
literally
right.
saying-
That's absolutely right, Dr. Blitz. Now go ahead and teach Jesse everything you learned in your entire physics degree in a way that he'll understand.
That's not what we're asking. And here you go with your
That
disingenuous.
is
sarcasm. That's
basically
not
what you're
being
asking. You're asking for him to summarize the last 13.8 billion years in the course of a TikTok
Not
live
being a
stream.
fucking twat and actually have a conversation, which you can't do.
How long do you want the explanation to be?
I'm not. I was having a conversation with Blitz.
You were short circuiting is what you were doing. How long do you want the explanation to be?
No, not short circuiting. One bit.
Set a length. Set a length for the explanation.
Blitz, you still there?
I'm here.
Okay. Give me something more than 6 sentences that's going to be a acceptable answer for any person.
Here's the issue, Jesse. You're not going to accept any answer I give you.
You're possibly right, but at least it's going
So
to
then
be.
you're setting me an impossible task.
That's not setting the impossible. I said possibly. So I'm still trying to figure out how you get from, 13.5 billion years ago, this dense piece of whatever that expands outwardly, and now you have complex systems. And you gave me 6 sentences, and I want more than 6 sentences. I think that's sufficient if
Okay.
you get on here.
So I'm going to ask some probative questions just to see which part you want explanation on, since you won't actually tell me which part you want explanation on. Do you understand how we can go from an extremely hot dense state to the structure to atoms forming? Do you understand how we can go from freely flying quarks and unbound electrons to atoms forming. Is that something that you need explanation on, or do you want me to explain it? Or am I okay to skip it?
Were quarks present at the beginning of the Big Bang, during the Big Bang?
Very, quarks were present at least as early as we can tell.
Okay, and they were a part of this expansion, yes?
Quarks were part of the matter that was expanding with the expansion of space, yeah.
So let's just call this sentence 1, okay? I'm not trying to be a dick.
Do you want clarification on that?
No, I'm trying to just have a conversation about this. So now that we're moving, we're focusing on sentence 1, okay? Now that we have these very early stages of matter that we're moving out rapidly, you're telling me that quarks, do we think the laws were still the same then? Have they changed? Has anything?
The underlying laws of physics are unchanging, as far as we can tell anyway. Maybe they changed at some point and we don't have models for that. But the models that we have say that the underlying laws of physics are unchanging.
Okay. Now, and I want to say this, and I don't know how to say this, but there is something you said in the past to me that was, I would say, a slight chink in the armor of my respect for you, because it didn't really make sense.
Okay.
And you made the statement of that matter. Was it the second law of thermodynamics? Matter cannot be created or destroyed. Is that the first
That's
or second?
neither law of thermodynamics. That's a law of chemistry.
I disagree.
It's also strictly false.
So you're telling me that matter cannot exist; it can disappear.
You can make new matter. You can destroy matter. Yeah.
And where does the destroyed matter go? Does it turn
It's
into
gone.
energy?
It's no longer matter.
But I'm asking a very specific question. Does it turn into energy?
Energy is not a thing. Energy is a description of things. It often turns into light.
So the law of conservation of matter states that matter cannot be created or destroyed, only rearranged in physical or chemical changes. The total mass of the starting materials always equals the total mass of the product. Is that true or false?
Strictly false.
Okay. Without getting, sidelined, I'll just take you at your word that that's true. I don't understand why, and this is not a Chat GPT search. This is a God. So anyway, moving along. You're stating that now these particles that are.
Wait, I think I missed that. What search is it?
I went on to AI search Gemini. It's not Gemini. It's got Wikipedia. It's got AI. Gemini. It's got chemistry. 5.1 laws of conservation of matter. Laws of conservation of matter. I don't know. What do you want me to? What would you prefer for me to look up there, Brownie boy? Where would
It's
you
fine.
want me?
I just didn't hear you. Sorry if I've gotten under your skin.
No, not at all. I'm just going to treat you with the same amount of disrespect you treat me.
Okay.
Okay, so go ahead, Blitz. Let's progress.
What's the next question?
So we now have these beginning particles, near the Big Bang. They're now expanding outwardly. How do we now get to the next stage where are they getting closer, or are they still expanding outward?
As the universe cools, as the universe expands, it cools. This is something called Hubble friction. Don't worry about that. As the universe expands, it cools, and the kinetic energy, which is measured by the temperature, the kinetic energy of these particles decreases sufficiently to the point where, about 1 second after the Big Bang or so, the kinetic energy is sufficiently low that they can form protons and neutrons. And about 380,000 years after the Big Bang or so, the kinetic energy is sufficiently slow that they don't bump into each other so fast that the protons and neutrons can't grab onto electrons. So you can form atoms after about 380,000 years. It's cooled enough that atoms can form.
Okay.
Is there need further explanation there?
So now we'll go to step. No, let's call that sentence 2. So now let's go to sentence 3. How do we then get to I'm still in this kind of like they're bouncing around, and now they're starting to cool and they're starting to come together and cohere. I'm still missing the part where they go, oh, I'm gonna make a heart, or I'm gonna make a nervous system.
Well, yeah, you're like I don't know, 10 billion years too early.
Right. So let's get to the part where there's that preface, right? How do we?
Well, there's like
preface?
10 billion years of history that happened between then and like those 2 points.
Right, but
You can't just skip all of that.
10 billion
It's a whole process.
Okay, but we still are not even anywhere near. You don't even need the 10 billion years to describe to me how we get from particles bumping into each other to now very intricate, complex designs. Explain to me that kind of coming together.
That process takes place over 10 billion years.
Right. How?
Yeah, so first you have, so in the very, very early universe, before even atoms formed, you had slight instabilities or fluctuations in the density of these particles. These are quantum fluctuations. And so you have some areas that are slightly more dense and some areas that are slightly less dense. These slightly more dense regions eventually coalesce into what we'd call galaxies and stars under the influence of gravity. Those stars take the atoms that were present. We're now like, say, 10 plus million years after the Big Bang. Those stars are made of atoms. Those atoms then are fused together to form heavier elements like oxygen, like nitrogen, like carbon. These are the precursors for life, of course, these heavier atoms.
Wait,
And
sorry,
bas- and-
let's to pause you. Your mic is like a bit scratchy. I don't know if there's anything you can do about that.
I'm just talking on my phone mic. Let me plug in my headphones. Or
Okay.
plug in my Bluetooth, and maybe that'll be better.
Yep, sure.
One sec.
Yeah, I just have to be worried about the audio quality, for the
Yeah,
YouTube.
of course. Totally reasonable. Give it 1 sec to connect.
Yeah. 1 sec. That's just enough
how's
time
that?
for
Is that any
Jesse
better?
to punch another hole in the wall. Yeah, go for it.
Hey, Brownie boy.
Testing,
this is
1, 2, 3.
Conversation. This is how you have an actual constructive conversation. So
yeah.
maybe keep taking notes.
Is
Yeah.
this any better, by the way?
No.
It's worse.
It's about the same, which makes me think that maybe it's a thing with Jesse.
Could be. Oh, that scratching sound is not me.
Oh, you can hear the scratching sound?
Yeah.
Of course it's Jesse.
I'm okay with it.
I'm not. Fucking reorient your phone or something.
Fucking then end the conversation. I'm not doing anything.
No,
You didn't
I'm not.
have a
I'm not
10
gonna let you take the rhetorical
No,
equivalent of like the coward's way out. No, we'll just power through it. Let's
I'm not
keep on
gonna grant
going.
anything. I do what I want. I'm just telling you.
Yep.
Tough shit, dude. You don't like it. Shut the
Yeah,
fuck up.
Blitz. Yeah, you can keep on going, Blitz. Well, I can't wait to see what Jesse will have to say.
Yeah, so where was I? Stars, right? So we have a few generations of these early stars where you have almost exclusively hydrogen. This is the smallest atom. Coalescing, forming stars, forming galaxies, then exploding, spreading out the resulting atoms, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, silicon, these kinds of things, seeding the rest of the universe. And then you have this process basically repeating for a while until you end up about, say, 5-ish billion years ago, where we have our fairly mature galaxy, the Milky Way. For one reason or another, perhaps a nearby supernova explodes, perhaps a nearby star passes by, whatever it might be, something triggers the collapse of a local cloud of gas, and that triggered collapse forms the sun. And now that sun is going to be mostly hydrogen, a little bit of helium, and it's going to have a little bit of other heavy metals. When I say heavy metals, these are anything heavier than hydrogen, in the surrounding gas cloud. This is, again, going to include carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, silicon, everything up to gold, uranium, these kinds of things, all sorts of heavy metals. The heavier the metal, the less of it you have.
Jesse
And
knows
as a
a thing or
result of
two
angular
about heavy
momentum
metals.
Ayo. As a result of angular momentum conservation, this gas cloud or this dust cloud that's surrounding the protosun, eventually, basically by particles bumping into each other and kind of heating up, essentially, as they bump into each other and losing energy that way, they form a disk. It's called an accretion disk, and the formation of accretion disks from protoplanetary clouds is fairly well understood. And so you get a disk of material. As a result of perturbations in that disk of material, you get planets coalescing from gravitational instabilities. Those planets then form in roughly the same plane, you end up with a planet that we call Proto-Earth, a planet that we call Jupiter, a planet that we call Theia, a planet that we call Mercury, Venus, all of these planets. A few tens of millions of years later, the planet Theia collides into the Proto-Earth, kicks out a whole bunch of stuff, kicks out a whole bunch of material. Some of that material ends up escaping, some of that material ends up falling back to the Earth, but some of that material stays in orbit, and it's very, very hot. It coalesces again under the influence of gravity, and you end up with a moon. So now you have a moon orbiting this very, very hot, basically molten Earth. And now you have a planet. And that planet has a whole bunch of elements on it, like carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, silicon, iron, all the things that are necessary for life. And now, over time, of course, this planet is going to cool down because it's not going to be hot forever. It'll radiate away heat, and as it radiates away heat, and as our solar system cools, or as our solar system kind of begins to be less chaotic as things stabilize, you can have the formation of liquid water because our planet happens to be just the right distance away from the sun that allows for the formation of liquid water. And in that liquid water, you have all sorts of fairly simple chemicals that can form in fairly straightforward ways using basic chemistry. We can do these in a lab. You can form these things called hydrocarbons. These things called, I think they're called lipids. And after that, it's a question of chemistry and a question of biology of how you get to life. And you'll have to ask a biologist or chemist about that. But all of the steps up until we get to Earth, or Earth has formed with elements on it, all of that's perfectly well explained using standard physics. I'm done now if you want to think about it and respond.
Did you mute me, whatever, Brownie Boy? Did you mute me?
Yeah, to prevent the horrid sound of your microphone. It sounds like you're scratching like fucking nails against it. It's like seriously like an assault on the senses, combined with the fact that your camera's on. I mean, it's like quite catastrophic, Somehow even we can like smell you through the microphone. Like truly the least appetizing sensory experience that's ever been had on the allegedly Ian debate stream.
Work on your material, dude. You fucking suck, too. You really did. So back Blitz. I didn't realize that I was muted. I was going to interrupt you, but the comment that you made about they just come together, right? You said, well, based on these forces, the gluons and so ons and all that, they just come together. This is the part where I'm having, a bit of a breakdown, buddy. Because just to say that they come together, on what?
Look, they bounce off of each other, and if they have enough, if they're moving slowly enough, they'll capture each other because there are forces that pull things together. Electrostatic forces or electromagnetic forces pull opposite charges together.
You used the analogy one time with you would use the coffee. Remember that conversation? You pour the cream into the coffee gets milky. You remember that conversation?
Sure, it's not really related to the case of formation of simple structure, though.
Is me describing to you how I arrive at this milky coffee, right, is all the ingredients. I, the creator of action, take the creamer, I pour it into the coffee, and the cream permeates and gets into the coffee and makes it milky, right? That's a good descriptor. I'm the one that created the action. I'm the one that took the cream. First, we can go back to me making the coffee. I took the coffee grounds, I poured them into the little strainer. I then poured water over them, and that came out really hot. And then I put it in a cup, and then I poured the cream over it. Those are all very good descriptors of how we arrived at a creamy coffee. I didn't just say, hey, cream. It was there, and then it came to the coffee, and then it decided to become coffee with cream.
Did this motherfucker not listen again?
No one's talking to you, dipshit.
I'm talking to you. It's my stream, stupid fuck.
Yeah.
Pipe the fuck down. I own you. I have you on like a dog collar. You've literally been getting walked around the entire time. And sometimes I bring my friend up here and I let him walk you too.
You would shit your fucking pants if you were in front of me.
I'd beat the fuck out of you if I was in front of you.
Listen, Brownie Boy, if you want to do this for your audience,
you literally are so uncreative that you have to keep on recycling the same bad insult. No one gets it, dude. I'm not even sure what the insult's supposed to be. Frankly. Like, am I Brownie Boy because I've been shitting all over you? Like,
someone who claims to be fucking intelligent, you're a fucking moron.
I have no idea what that even refers to.
You being a moron. That's exactly what it refers to.
Brownie Boy means like moron?
back to what I was asking you, Blitz. This is you gave me a great scientific explanation, but you didn't give me how it happens. You didn't. You just.
So I don't know what you're missing, but like if you have a proton just hanging out in space and an electron that's hanging out in space but is moving slightly towards the proton just by accident, the electron will be captured by the proton.
And by what design? By what reason? By what law?
The electromagnetic force.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I'll accept your abracadabra. That's
What more do you want? I told you exactly the mechanism. It's called the electromagnetic force. It is one of the fundamental four forces of nature. What more do you want?
I can take a bunch of fucking magnets, put them right here, and they're going to clump together. They're not going to make a heart. They're not going to make a vascular system. They're not going to make a fucking brain.
You were asking how the atoms form. I just told you how the atoms form, and it seems like you agree with it. If you take a bunch of magnets, they'll stick together in the same way that an electron and a proton will stick together.
I'm still completely of the opinion that you lack the evidence to show how they get from these particles that have electromagnetic.
Okay, so you didn't listen to anything I said?
No, I heard you.
Like I outlined the whole process.
You gave a bunch of ingredients. You gave nothing by way of how it.
I spent like 20 minutes explaining this to somebody, like as if I was like explaining like a good faith student. And it seems like you just weren't paying attention at all.
Yeah. Well, I mean, his contribution to the conversation was. Basically, that's what his contribution was.
You gave me a bunch of ingredients, Blitz. I'm sorry.
I told you the mechanisms by which they form. I described which forces are involved. You have the electromagnetic forces involved in the formation of atoms from ions. You have gravitational forces involved in the formation of stars from atomic clouds. Like, I'm telling you the mechanism, you just don't like it.
No, I'm asking you another question. How did those forces how did they come to be? Why are those forces?
That wasn't what you were originally asking. Now you're moving, you're taking the goalposts and just sprinting away with them.
No. I'm asking it now. Why are these forces in place?
I don't know. I don't know why there are these forces.
Good answer. Thank you. At least that is a sufficient answer. Other than, they're forces and they're there and all these things come together and now you have a fucking brain with billions of fucking neurons and that's it. You gave me a bunch of ingredients. I love you, dude. You're a great guy. You, Brownie Boy, suck dick. You're a fucking loser.
I looked at Brownie Boy. Apparently, this isn't even like a thing that's on the internet. Like, apparently, this is like a you original insult, and it doesn't even make any sense.
It doesn't have to make sense, dude. Nothing that you
So
do. Like,
you just you're gonna call someone like Brownie Boy as like an insult over and over again. You know, this is like this guy's like bread and butter insult. It's like his like Jesse original work, and it's nonsensical. Like it's so nonsensical that. And by the way, you were condescending earlier. You were like, you're so stupid. You don't know what Brownie Boy means when you made it up. Are you a fucking idiot? Are you like dying of like fucking IQ loss? He was too stunned to speak.
You would shit your pants in the face of conflict, buddy.
You already tried to run that insult, and you got like low-key humiliated on it.
It's a joke. You have zero ability to have a good faith argument.
Oh yeah?
You're a fucking
Can you summarize what Blitz said? Do you have like a real refutation to anything that Blitz said? You know, you asked to have Blitz brought up here, so we brought Blitz up here. You know, he explained all these things in like a painful amount of detail, by the way.
No. Blitz actually just gave me an answer that I'll accept. I don't know. That's
I like how that was the only thing you heard.
Yep. It's because he's the only thing he wanted to hear.
Yep.
Wait, and Jesse, by the way, why did God want to create the fundamental forces?
I have no idea.
Sure. Wait, so then what's your point?
That you can't explain God. You can't sit here and tell me that you understand it. You preach
God
to these
doesn't
people
exist.
like
Moron.
Preach to these people like you know that God doesn't exist, and
I
it's
do.
disingenuous. And it's a fucking
Ooh,
lie.
wait, you conceded earlier. You conceded that God's illogical earlier. You conceded that God violates laws of logic earlier.
Yes. God can be outside of time and logical answers to you.
Wait, so you do think that the laws of logic get violated by God? That God's existence is a violation of laws of logic?
I believe that God can't be explained. Just like
But, oh, that's
just
not what I
like
asked.
Blitz-
Do you think that God's
Blitz could not
existence is a
explain
violation of
why
laws of
the laws-
logic?
Just like Blitz could not
Do you
explain why
think
the
that
laws
God's
of
existence is a violation of laws of logic?
why these laws-
Do
that
you
makes it
think
more-
God's existence is a violation of the laws of logic?
Just like Blitz explained.
Do
a second
you
ago.
think God's existence is a violation of the laws of logic? Answer the question, cuck boy.
I'm not gonna
Answer it,
fucking do
cuck.
anything for you.
Hey, cuck. Is God's existence a violation of the laws of logic?
Do you think that, like,
He's gonna
Somehow
punch
that-
another hole in the wall. Cuck, answer the question, cuck. Is God's
think that-
existence a violation of the laws of logic?
do you think that insults me?
It's well, yeah, clearly it does, which is why you're not gonna answer the question.
How's
If it doesn't
fine?
insult you, then just answer the question.
I don't want to answer the question.
Yeah, because it insulted you.
No, not no.
Now he has nothing to say. If it didn't insult you, then just answer the question.
I have plenty to say, buddy.
Sure. Is
I think
one of
you're-
those things a yes or a no? Does God's existence violate laws of logic?
No, I have a good faith argument.
Okay.
Or even a conversation.
This guy, I don't know. Like you probably should have just ran earlier, because now what's happening is you're just gonna get rhetorically wailed on.
I know I can't control myself, and I just want to say things that I want to write checks that my ass can't fucking back up. You're a fucking. You're,
I can control myself. That's the difference between us. Is that I have
What is
like a
this?
way higher degree of self-control than you do, which is why I'm able to, with such
by
proficiency,
calling
beat you
people
the fuck down every time you pipe the fuck up. This has been an
By
abysmal
Also,
debate.
what is this?
for you.
1990? Who's writing checks these days?
True. Speaking of
My
not knowing
big-
how to write a check, you'll never believe who it is.
Yo,
Hey, how's it going?
let me go get my charger. Hold on. My bad.
Didn't you? Wasn't this how the debate with Blitz opened too?
Yeah.
His phone's on 2%.
Do you think that's like just like an apologist thing where like their phone is like perpetually at like 3%?
So I have a coworker who used to be like a Mormon missionary, and he was telling me about like one of the tricks that he used to use. He did his mission in Italy, and you know people were like hostile and mean and aggressive towards them, of course, you know, because they're Mormons. But he would always ask, like, "Can I get a glass of water?" And then something would just click in their brains for like Italian people, and they would bring you a glass of water, and then that would be when you delivered them the gospel. So maybe it's something like that, you know. Give me a second to get my charger, and then
Because it just makes me madder.
Phone's just like literally at 1%. Literally, I could screenshot and show you.
it's okay.
All right, but yeah. Anyways, so by the way, the universe is the hot. Wait, Dr. Blitz, what is the hot dense state, really quick? Is it quark gluon
What
plasma?
is
Yes
the
or no?
hot- What is the hot dense state?
Yeah, is it quark gluon plasma? Yes or no?
At one point, it would have been a quark gluon plasma, not after it cooled down.
Is the hot dense state the universe? Yes or no? Did the universe expand from a hot dense state? Yes or no?
The universe, like 13.8 billion years ago, the universe was hot and dense. Yeah.
Uh huh. So the hot dense state is what?
I don't know what you're asking.
The
It was a hot
universe?
dense
Yes or
state.
no?
I mean, so the universe
No,
can also be
quark gluon
described by other
plasma is an
properties,
early
but sure, the
condition.
universe,
The quark
What?
gluon plasma is a condition in the early universe, not the hot dense state itself.
the quark gluon
It's a state of
plasma
matter.
describes the way that the matter was in
It's
the,
what the
in the
universe is
early
made of.
universe. At least one of the ways that the matter was. Sure.
What the universe was made of, right?
The universe isn't made of matter.
I didn't. I said quark gluon plasma is what the universe was made of.
But the universe isn't made of matter.
All right, whatever. I don't want to talk. You already conceded. All right, look. So yesterday-
Okay.
I was
What a
talking
brutal
to,
spawn kill, dude.
Oh,
that
that was
line of
funny.
questioning went like instantly nowhere. That's brutal.
By the way, just so everybody knows, if you want to go watch my conversation with this fellow, with Matthew Davids, it actually just went live earlier today, like, you know,
I saw that.
5
I
hours
don't know
ago,
why. I don't even look
7
like
hours
that.
ago.
I don't even look like that in that like thumbnail. I don't know why.
That's literally your profile picture.
No, I don't look like that in my profile picture at all.
I just grabbed your profile picture and then cropped away the background, and that's you.
All right, did Dr. Samuel Blitz publish in 2025 a toy universe? Yes or no?
Yeah, that's me.
Okay. So, does it evade the BGV theorem?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so do you attempt to evade by making the time periodic in a closed time-like curve? Yes or no?
I mean, I don't attempt to evade; it just does evade, and it evades it because because it violates the null energy condition.
So you concede you're being evasive.
So,
Yeah.
let me explain something really quick. Okay. So I looked at your I looked at your paper, and your paper attempts to evade. So look, Lincoln states that any universe which has been expanding on average cannot be past eternal. It must have a beginning.
Good
Your
thing
model,
good thing that universe hasn't been expanding on average. It has an
Well,
average
let me
expansion of
explain. So your
0.
model attempts to evade this by making time periodic in a closed time-like curve. So
No,
CTC.
no, it doesn't try to evade it by making time periodic. The average expansion of that universe is just 0.
So wait, let me explain. So the closed time-like curve, meaning a path in space-time that loops back in time, right? 'Cause
Bro,
remember you said that
absolutely
we have
fed
a,
it to a
do you remember that you
ChatGPT,
said that we have a third
100%.
option?
ChatGPT,
No,
refute
remember
this
you said
paper
we
for
have a
me.
third option, right? I said it's time
basically.
infinite. I said it's time infinite or finite, and I said, well, wait, is that a false dilemma? Is there a third option? And then this was what you brought up. This is the third
Yeah,
option.
I brought up that you could have a non-trivial topology for the time
Exactly,
like
and you
Absolutely.
attempt to evade it using this third option. Yes or no?
Evade what? This is the purpose of
BGV
the paper
theorem.
wasn't an attempt to evade anything. The BGV theorem is not a theorem. It has counterexamples. There's nothing
Yeah,
to
so the
evade.
model doesn't eliminate a beginning. It just hides it in a cyclic structure. Okay.
There is no beginning for a cycle.
Even in cyclic models, the BGV theorem applies to the sequence of cycles as
No,
well.
it doesn't.
Yes, physicist William Kinney has shown that bouncing universes which use growth of the scale factor to shed entropy are
The scale
geometric
factor isn't
capacity.
growing here. The scale factor is on average unchanging.
So you're claiming that entropy reversals occur during each cycle?
That's what it says in the conclusion.
So you're saying that's consistent with Hawking's proposal linking the thermodynamic and cosmological arrows of time? That's
Yeah,
highly
that's what it
speculative.
says
That's
in
highly
the
speculative.
introduction.
No, the second law of thermodynamics is one of the most well-established laws in physics. A model that claims entropy resets requires extraordinary evidence. Okay, your model does not provide empirical evidence. It's
My model is a
mathematical
proof of
consistency.
concept. I never made the claim that this is a description of our universe. In fact, I'm very, very clear
I
in the
know,
paper
I
where
know.
I say
I
that
said
this is
already.
not intended to be observationally consistent with data. It is merely a proof of concept. Get with the program.
So, okay, I already explained your model. Okay, so
You
look, this
couldn't
is what it is.
understand my model if it smacked you on the head. Hey, can you
So
tell me
with
what can you tell me what a conformal scalar of conformal dimension 0 is in 4 dimensions?
Brutal.
Is that in your
Crickets.
paper? Is that in your paper? Yes or no?
It is, yeah.
We're at.
I think like section 2 or section 3. I can pull it up.
Let me see. Hold on. I know you talk about exotic topology like S1 cross S3.
Bro only read
S1
the
means
introduction, huh?
one-dimensional circle. So okay, so S1 means one-dimensional circle. S3 means a
I
three-dimensional.
wasn't asking
sphere.
about that. I was asking about a conformal scalar of conformal dimension 0 in 4 spacetime dimensions.
Okay. So A of t means the scale factor of the universe
No.
as a function
don't-
of the time t.
Bro doesn't understand anything that I said in my paper at all.
You call it a toy universe. It's a mathematical exercise, not a description of our actual universe, right?
Yeah, that's what a
the
toy model is, my guy.
Exactly. The model requires a specific finely tuned choice of quantum field contact to
Nope,
work.
it specifically doesn't require finely tuned anything. That's the lovely part.
It does.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
In fact, I
You know
proved that
your
it's not
paper
finely
does.
tuned in this
Wow.
model.
Who
But
will I
cool,
believe,
go off,
guys? I'm so confused. Will I believe TikTok lol cow who keeps getting like farmed for content, or will I believe esteemed physicist Dr. Samuel Blitz?
Also, author of the paper that is currently being discussed.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're conceding that the universe is finely tuned for life. The constants are set with extreme precision. An impersonal
God.
mechanism like a multiverse.
This is such a this has got to be a bit, right?
What's so funny? You're trying to claim that.
What's
ChatGPT,
funny is
Grok,
that this has nothing
unquote,
to do with
Grok.
paper.
Tell me if I'm wrong. Tell me if I'm wrong. You said that entropy reversals occur during each cycle, consistent with
In this
Hawking's
model, yeah.
proposal, linking the thermodynamic and cosmological arrows of time.
Yeah,
right?
that's literally what it says in my paper. I think you're
let me
reading
tell
it
you what
word
I have
for
to
word.
say about that. Okay, the 2nd
Mhm.
law of thermodynamics is one of the most well-established laws in physics. A model that claims entropy
He did
reset
just put it in
requires
ChatGPT.
extraordinary evidence.
Yeah, I
I already
know.
said this. Blitz's model does not provide empirical evidence. Let me finish. It's a
I never made the claim
mathematical
that it provides
consistency.
empirical evidence.
This is the paper itself states it's a toy model requiring specific
Yeah.
choice of quantum field content, meaning the types of fundamental quantum
Yeah.
fields included in
It's
the
not
model,
fine-tuned, though.
such as scalar fields, got all these. Even if entropy
Scalar
could reset
fields?
locally, how do you pronounce
Bro
it?
doesn't even know what a scalar field is.
That's how. That's okay. That's how I pronounce it.
Brutal.
He's never
That's
never
just
seen
his
it.
accent.
He's never seen it written anywhere except on ChatGPT
English,
and in my
no,
paper.
English isn't my main language. That's not my problem.
But that's not even okay. That's just not even how it's spelled. You know that
yeah, it is.
you have, like, the vowels there.
STALAR.
when there's a vowel followed by a letter followed by another vowel, The second
Can it
vowel
not be
makes the
pronounced?
first vowel
Can
say its
can it not be
name.
pronounced that
That's
way?
why it's pronounced scalar. Scalar.
Can it not be pronounced skull?
No, it can't be. Nobody will have any idea what you're talking about.
Okay, well, I mean, I'm English is my main language, so it's not my fault.
Okay. Well, now you know.
But like I said, even if entropy could reset locally, the change in entropy,
It's not local, it's global.
Change. Yeah, that doesn't matter.
Why?
I can already explain why global conservation of energy not being well defined isn't a problem. It doesn't. We don't require that.
I'm not talking about conservation of energy, my guy. We're talking about entropy here. The global entropy resets in this model.
the global entropy. So does it go back to zero?
It goes back to whatever it was after each
Does
cycle.
it go back to zero, or does it increase overall throughout all the cycles?
No, it does not increase overall after each cycle.
Okay,
It
does it
reaches a
go to
maximum
zero?
at the maximum volume.
Does it go to zero?
It's a false dichotomy, I think.
Does
Like,
it go-
couldn't it just return to like a lower
Wait,
value,
you
but
said
not
it resets,
necessarily
that means it goes
zero?
to zero, right? It doesn't
Yeah,
reset.
yeah. So
Does it decrease or does it
reaches,
reset?
reaches a
There's a
max. It
difference.
reaches a maximum at the maximum volume and a minimum at the minimum volume.
It reaches a maximum, and then it decreases. That's what you just said?
Yep.
Okay, does it reset to zero, or does it just decrease?
No, I never made the claim that it resets to zero.
Oh, okay, so it doesn't reset this, so it increases
It
overall.
goes back
That
down to a
weakens
minimum
that.
value, and then after
That
the minimum
weakens that.
value, it increases up to a maximum value again, and then it's cyclic.
So it increases overall then, okay.
No, it doesn't increase
You
overall.
said it doesn't
You're
go back to
mistaken.
zero, though. It doesn't go back to zero.
It's a
It
false
doesn't have to go back to
dichotomy.
zero in order to not increase overall.
It doesn't have to go back to zero in order to not increase overall?
Yeah.
Okay, so it
If,
doesn't.
if
Okay,
you
so
oscillate
if it's
between
not
1 and 3, that doesn't mean that that your number is increasing overall. If you go 1 2 3 2 1 2 3 2, you're never increasing beyond 3. You're never decreasing beyond 1.
So okay,
This is
it
like
doesn't
this is
reset-
by the
okay,
way,
wait.
by the way, Matthew.
So it doesn't
I
reset back to zero, though, right?
Matthew, I just want to make a point super clear, and this is like you're a young
It's
guy,
not
so like
resetting
I'm-
back to zero. That automatically.
Matthew, I'm gonna be like super charitable and super kind with you. You're a young guy, so like, you know, you have time to learn. The stupidest thing that you could do on the internet is go and talk with the author of a paper that you don't understand and try to claim that that author is wrong about the paper that they wrote. That is by far the stupidest
You won't
thing you
even
can
let
do.
me-
Yo,
I
It
Dr.
makes
Blitz.
you look.
You won't
It
even
makes
let me
you look
talk.
like an idiot.
Not my
So
fault.
I would suggest take a different approach. Don't talk about
I
my own
understand your
paper,
paper.
that I know like the
I know
back
what
of
a
my hand.
breathing
You don't even know what a
universe actually
scalar
is.
field is.
I would-
True.
yes, I do.
Yo, wait, Dr. Blitz, just check this sine wave function, sine x plus 2, it goes to infinity. It's strictly increasing because it never hits zero.
Oh,
Since it never
okay.
goes, since the sine wave never hits zero, since it never goes to zero, that means that it's strictly increasing. It goes to infinity. Is that correct, Matthew?
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
Oh my god.
But it doesn't
Okay.
reset to zero. That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
It doesn't
It
have to
increases
reset to
overall.
zero. It's not necessary.
If it's not resetting, then that means it's
It
increasing
resets
overall.
to a it
That's what
resets
that means,
it,
that's all
it
it means.
resets to a minimal value. It just doesn't reset to zero.
It doesn't reset to zero exactly. It's increasing overall.
It doesn't have to
That's what
reset
that
to
means.
zero.
Yeah. it
Exactly.
resets
It
the
just has to go
minimum
down to a
It
value.
doesn't
minimal
reset to
value.
zero. It increases overall.
That doesn't
Throughout
follow.
all the
That's not what that means.
Yeah, just look at the fucking sine wave, right? It doesn't go to zero.
We're
But-
talking. Okay, well, wait. We're talking about
Just
exergy,
because something
right?
doesn't go to zero doesn't mean
So
that
as
it's always
entropy increases,
increasing. It doesn't
exergy
follow.
decreases, correct?
This is crazy.
Does exergy decrease as entropy increases?
I would never be so arrogant.
Are
I
you
would
just
never be
saying
filled
that
with such
magic just
hubris.
happens and everything just starts to work again? Is that what you're claiming right now?
Nobody's making any claims about magic.
Usable energy just pops into existence. Stars start to burn again. Life can form. Is that
This
what you
model
guys are
doesn't
saying?
talk about stars in any
Okay,
extent of the
but
word.
as entropy increases, exergy decreases, though, right?
In this model, the entropy is commensurate
In
with
what
the scale
model?
factor. As the scale factor gets bigger, in fact, it goes as the square of the scale factor. As the scale factor gets bigger,
You just
the
now admitted
entropy
that it doesn't reset
increases.
to
As the
zero.
scale factor gets smaller, the entropy decreases.
If it doesn't, okay, this is the thing you're not understanding. So if it doesn't reset to zero, that means that we
my
have gone
God.
through an infinite amount of cycles. And,
Nope.
and-
No, it doesn't.
yes, yeah, that okay. So the past is infinite or is it finite?
Well, the
Because if it's finite,
time
then I
dimension
mean-
is finite.
Okay, if it's finite, then we just have the BGV theorem then.
No,
Yeah.
because it's geodesically complete.
No, it's
The
geodesically
BGV
incomplete.
theorem specifically states that there is a
Incomplete.
that the
Your model
spacetime is
doesn't
geodesically
evade. Your
incomplete.
model doesn't evade.
Whereas
the
this
BGV
model
theorem.
actually is
I already
geodesically
explained that.
complete, and you can see that at
Your model doesn't evade it.
Oh, but my model does. My model is
No, it
indeed
doesn't.
geodesically complete.
Yeah,
The paper
incomplete.
itself says that it's
Incomplete.
geodesically complete.
Incomplete or complete?
Complete.
Yeah, the paper might say it's complete. That doesn't
It
mean
is, and I've
actually
checked it.
is.
It is geodesically complete.
Wait, you checked your own paper and verified it's okay? You did that
Yeah,
yourself? You verified your
Yeah,
own
it's
paper.
like trivially true that it's geodesically complete.
Okay. Well, tell me why. Okay. Wait. So you're telling me that the analysis done by Kinney in 2024 doesn't matter?
I don't know what analysis you're referring
You're
to.
saying the analysis done by
You don't know what
Keeney is
analysis I'm
fucking
referring
worthless?
to.
You think Keeney is better off dead?
Yeah, he.
You
yeah,
think he
no,
should
no,
just
but he
die,
proved it.
Dr.
He
Blitz? You think he
proved-
should just die?
Yeah, he don't know. Dr.
Yep,
Blitz
he's just
doesn't
better
know
off dead.
anything, does he? Wait, you have to go do research on the paper.
I'm
Maybe.
sure that you've read the paper too.
You just now said that you have no idea what I'm talking
Wait,
about.
can
So
I,
you
Yeah,
gotta
I've
search it
never
up real quick?
I've never read this paper. I have no idea what you're referring to.
Okay, we'll go search it up.
Yo, Matthew, I got a question,
who's the
right?
author?
Can you
So the
search
entire
up Kinney
paper,
analysis BGV theorem 2024?
yeah, would you be able to tell us like what this represents, like the highlighted thing? Do you know what that represents?
Are you really begging for me to throw a bone?
This
at
looks
you,
like
huh?
it's from 2022, not 2024.
It's no 2024.
Maybe
It's not
ChatGPT hallucinated it. Wait, Matthew, can
No,
you
it's
just
definitely. Are you talking
Matthew-
about the paper Cyclic Cosmology and Geodesic Completeness?
Yep.
Yeah, that's from 2022. Also, the claim
Well, no, it might
okay.
just wait, who is that by? Who is that paper by?
William Kinney and Nina Stein.
Okay, I think that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, so
don't have anything.
the very first sentence, by the way, of this paper shows why it's not relevant to my paper. This very first sentence in the abstract of this paper is: we consider recently proposed bouncing cosmological models for which the Hubble parameter is periodic in time, but the scale factor grows from one cycle to the next as a mechanism for shedding entropy. Now, my model doesn't have the scale factor growing from one cycle to the next. Hence, this paper is discussing something that's unrelated to my construction. Right? It's just not related at all.
I don't know. I think we're talking about a different. I have one from 2024. Let me go. I don't know. I don't got that much time right now. There is one from 2024 though. I know this for a fact.
You sure, buddy?
Yeah. Maybe I can go get it real quick. You got time?
It's Ian's live stream.
Of course, yeah.
Okay, hold on.
Dr. Blitz says time. Dr. Blitz says no further obligations tonight.
Yeah, I mean, like, all things considered, I was actually reading some papers and I was doing some other stuff, but I can do that while talking to this guy. So,
That's funny.
although I do have to call the post office before 4:30. There was a paper that came out by Sean Carroll like 3 weeks ago, called
Whoa.
"Toward a Phenomenologically Acceptable Quantum Cyclic Universe," which I was actually just reading when you pulled me up.
Oh yeah, is it good?
I don't know. I was just reading it. I was just starting.
Okay. Sure. Well, tell me if you think that it's like, well, what's the goal of it?
So they want to talk about our universe being described by a quantum state that lives in a finite dimensional Hilbert space, which means that the universe will kind of trace out the entire space, and so it'll inevitably recur. That's the idea, at least as far as I can tell.
Interesting. That for sure goes over my head. Wait, so in virtue of what does it
Just
recur?
think of it this way: if there's a
Yeah.
finite number of options,
Yeah.
and each time you jiggle it, it explores a different one. Eventually, it'll get back to. Eventually, it'll repeat itself.
Sure. Yeah, obviously, yeah. Okay.
That's the idea.
Sure.
At
Yeah.
least I think. But there's issues with like Boltzmann brains and like
Yeah.
and
Well, also
so
this
they're
forms like
saying
the
maybe it's not true.
this forms the argument for the unjiggled jiggler.
Right. Yeah, you can't ignore the unjiggled jiggler.
And who was it that's fucking giving it the little shake?
I believe that was St. Thomas Aquinas who brought
Oh yeah,
up the
this from
unjiggled
2022.
jiggler.
I was wrong. You're right.
Okay, yeah, so that paper
But
has
even then,
absolutely
the infinite
nothing to say
entropy
about my
problem,
paper.
The lack of empirical evidence doesn't give you a past eternal. Infinite
What?
past. Yeah. So the infinite entropy problem and the lack of empirical evidence doesn't give you infinite past.
What are you talking about?
It's the same problem. I mean,
What
even if
problem?
the BGB doesn't apply, which it does, I just can't go
Doesn't, but
too
okay.
deep into it right now because I'm a little busy. But I'm saying the infinite entropy
You're
problem.
busy. You joined this live stream.
Yeah, I wasn't planning on staying up here for long.
Bro, I'm about to create infinite entropy. Or my fucking brain cells are gonna create infinite entropy after I fucking blow them out.
Remember
Like,
when you
this
guys told me
conversation is
maybe if you wait a
horrendous.
long enough amount of time, entropy could reset? You guys said, remember?
Yeah, that's
was
true.
weird.
That's
Then
true, by the way.
Quantonaut said-
Under the model that's being
Quantonaut-
described,
and then
that's true, by
Quantonaut
the
thought-
way.
And then Quantonaut thought he got a Gachuma when he said that the hot dense state was core quantum plasma, but that's not what that means. Holy blunder.
Imagine being
Oh yeah,
Matthew
by the
Davids
way,
and
let
then
me just
still
say one more
saying
thing before I
blunder.
leave. You can see that there can't be a change outside of time, right?
There can't be a change outside of time. Yeah, I agree that there can't be changes
Yeah,
outside
so
of
if there
time.
can't
yeah.
be a change outside of time, and that means that the universe requires a cause outside of time, then that means that
No,
the
it
cause
doesn't. I don't
cannot
grant that
change.
the universe is
So that means that
caused.
there's no automatic change. That means that the only way there can be a change if the cause is personal.
Oh, no, it doesn't.
there's no
Because
when-
if
there's
the
no
cause
when-
was
there's no when-
personal and outside of
there's no
time, then
when
it
for
couldn't
it to act.
change. This
There's
is
no
a,
when
this is
for
a
it to
huge
act,
blunder, dude.
and there's no
If you
change.
agree that a change can't occur outside of time and God's outside of time, that means
Only a
that
choice
God
can be
can't
made.
change.
Oh, wait, does anything change you when you try to move your arm?
Does anything?
have to
I'm not.
push you?
Are you asking by me? Do you mean
Does
like
anything have
the
does anything
entirety
have
of
to
me, like
push
the
you to move
composite
your arm up?
object, or like my mind, or
The thought of moving your arm up, does anything push you to do that? Yes or no?
yeah,
Does anything within you change?
yeah.
What changes within you?
My brain
Fundamentally.
cells.
Your brain cells change fundamentally?
Yeah, and the process of me raising my arm up, yeah, my brain cells change, my neurons change.
Okay, this is just anthropomorphic language. You know what that is?
Fucking brutal. Spawn killed again. Wait, before you run away, I got a quick question.
Oh
do
my
you
god.
think do you think God's act of creation is eternal?
God's act of creation is eternal?
Yep.
What do you mean by eternal? What do you define it as?
Just exists without beginning or end?
So God's act
Yep.
begins to exist? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, does God's act of creation begin to exist?
God's act becomes, or I mean, God's creation. I don't even know what that question's trying to ask.
Brutal.
Like, is his act beginning to exist? Like, what does that
Is
mean?
it
God always
eternal?
existed.
Did God's act
His
of
act doesn't
creation
begin to
always
exist.
exist? Or
His
did
act
it
doesn't
come
begin-
into existence?
His act doesn't begin to exist. That makes
Sure,
sense.
then it's eternal. Then creation's eternal. You can see
Oh,
that the
that doesn't
Kalam is
follow.
false.
The effect is eternal, not the cause. That's a category error.
You think the effect is eternal, but not the cause? You think that the effect came before the cause?
I think the cause.
You think
is-
there are states where the
there's a
effect
cause and there's an
exists,
effect.
but the cause does not? That's
There's a
an
cause and
insane
there's an effect.
blunder.
There's a cause and there's an effect.
That
The
was like
cause
the
is
that was
eternal.
like the eternal blunder,
The
even.
cause is eternal, and the effect is contingent.
Sure. Okay. So you realize that you fucked up and you had to flip it. Do you think that is
Yeah, I
God's
guess.
act of creation? Does that
I mean,
necessitate
there
that
could be an
creation
effect.
exists?
There can be an effect and then a cause too. I mean, it can go both ways.
You think backwards causation happens?
Can there be an effect and then a cause? Yes or no?
An effect and then a cause?
Yeah. What
Not if
something
the
was
cause is
affected-
for
what
the
if-
effect. No.
What if there was something affected and then something like, just like was caused to happen? Maybe.
Not if the
perhaps.
cause is for the effect. No,
Not
obviously
if the
not.
cause is for the effect.
Yeah,
But can
because
an
then it would
effect-
be
can an effect cause
producing
a
itself.
change? Can an effect cause a change?
Can an effect? Yeah, an effect can cause a change.
Okay, then W concession. Okay, what
What do
were
you
you
think?
saying?
Wait, what do you think just got conceded? Do you think even a single person's gonna
That
fall
an
for
effect
that?
can cause a change.
Yeah, he
You
needs
idiot.
to do like the fake laughter so nobody
Wait,
realizes
isn't that what you're trying to argue? that the
literally
universe is cyclic, so
nothing that
effects
he's
cause
saying makes any
changes?
sense, and that he
Let's
can't
see
even
what you're
identify
saying.
the
That's
thing
your
that got
whole argument.
conceded.
That's your whole argument. W
Yo,
concession,
hopefully
effects cause
nobody
changes.
realizes that
Effects
you
cause
blundered
changes.
so
W
badly that you
concession.
whoa.
Effects cause
Nobody
changes.
said
That's
anything
your
other than
worldview.
that.
That's
Who
your
said
worldview.
otherwise?
Effects cause changes.
Wait, who said otherwise?
You idiot.
I don't think I
Bro,
said
Dr.
otherwise.
Bush
I think you're a
left.
bit
Bro,
confused.
Bro had to leave after that.
Okay. Well, he got spawn killed again. This is all he can
No,
do.
you just equivocate
You just-
when I
you
restate
just- you
things you
just-
say. I restate claims that you make, and then you make yourself look stupid by making fun
Like
of me
what?
for saying it.
Which ones? Give an example.
Effect can cause things. Literally, that's what you said.
You think
And then
I
you were trying to say that causes
disagreed that
cannot affect
effects
what they're
can
caused
cause things? I agree. Effects can
Yeah,
cause
can there
things.
be an effect
But the
before a
effect
cause?
cannot come
Can
before
there be
the
an effect
cause if
before
the
a cause?
cause
Can
is
there be
for
an
the
effect
effect in the
before a cause?
first place.
Exactly.
You're not tracking.
Can there be
This
an
is like
effect before a
trivial, right?
cause?
You know, if I'm
Okay,
the
so this-
cause of my mom, then my mom can't be the cause of me.
Nobody said that.
That's
Oh
my
yeah,
point.
clearly.
Is that you can't have the effect before the cause if the cause is for the effect.
Oh, okay. So how can you have a universe where there's no universe?
I don't think you can have a universe if there's no universe. He's gonna laugh and say W concession, even though I don't
Yeah, that's
disagree with
that's a
that. Nobody
concession.
disagrees with that.
That's a concession.
What did I say that disagrees with that?
You said that okay, the universe is the effect. the universe can fail to exist. It
I
can't exist
never
before it
said that the
existed.
universe is the effect.
The universe is an effect. That's
I
just
disagree. Prove
a
it.
fact. It's just a fact.
Prove it.
Is the universe all there is?
Wait, sorry. Okay, I'll write it down. I'll write it down in premise form because you're going to prove it
Okay.
that the universe
Okay,
is an effect.
premise one. If the universe began...
Wait, sorry. Okay, so the universe is an effect.
No. I'll give you the premises. That's
Yep.
not my premise.
That's the conclusion.
Straw man.
You just said it. Go for it. Give the
man.
proof.
This isn't my premise.
This isn't my premise. What's premise 2?
If the universe began, then it has a cause. Premise one.
The universe began, then it has an effect,
No. It has a cause.
then it has a cause.
P2, the universe began.
The
P3,
universe
then-
began.
Yeah. P4, whatever begins to exist has a cause.
Exist as a cause.
Whatever. The cause is spaceless, timeless, and material.
Spaceless, timeless, immaterial.
A cause with those attributes is best explained by a personal agent. Conclusion, therefore, the universe began, it has a cause, and it's best explained by a personal agent.
Therefore,
That's the conclusion.
the universe began, it has a cause, and it's best explained by a personal agent. Yeah, what inference rule does this follow?
Modus ponens.
You know, modus ponens is for 2 premises, right?
No, this is a...
Do you think 2 is
no,
7?
that's not
Is
how it
2
works.
7?
P8
How many
and P-
premises is modus ponens?
Okay, this is inference the best explanation also.
Sorry, okay, when you said modus ponens, were you just lying?
No, it is modus ponens.
So it's, and how many premises is modus ponens?
Modus ponens, it doesn't matter whether, how many... So look, this is how it works. So modus ponens, there's a
How many
conditional,
premises is modus ponens?
there's a conditional, then it's 3.
Modus
I
ponens
already
is
told
3
you.
premises? That's another blunder, but okay, do you think 3 is 7?
So, no, 6, or no, 7 and 8.
6,
wouldn't do it.
7.
You got my things backwards.
Do you think 3 is 7?
No.
Okay, sure. So then you would agree that this doesn't follow modus ponens.
Well, I mean, no, it does, though.
But
Let me
this is
show you
7
why.
premises.
Well, I
Modus
mean, you added
ponens, you
2.
just said that it's 3.
You added 2. There's only 5 premises.
Okay, which one should I remove?
The first one
Also,
right
by the way,
there.
5
This isn't
5
my
also isn't
premise.
3.
Huh?
5 also isn't 3.
Take out the universe is an effect. Take that off.
Oh, that's the conclusion that you were supposed to be arguing in favor of. Did you
the
fail
universe is an
to
effect.
argue in favor
Oh,
of that
yeah,
conclusion?
go ahead. Yeah, that can still apply. Just add it to the conclusion I already put there.
Okay.
The hell?
Yep. And then we'll make this the conclusion. And you're saying that this argument follows modus ponens?
Yeah,
Okay. And how many premises is modus ponens?
3.
Okay. And you have what? Let's renumber these. We got 1, 2,
There's 5.
3, 4.
I can explain how
5.
you're in the wrong.
So,
but I mean, it's
Modus
comparison.
ponens is 3 premises. It's not. It's 2, by the way.
It's okay. So it's cumulative. It's
I
cumulative.
gotta put quotes
I can
around this
just-
so people don't think that I'm saying this.
It's cumulative, you idiot.
Modus ponens is 3 premises.
Yeah.
This argument is 5 premises.
It's cumulative, you idiot.
Do you think that 3 is 5?
So look, 1, 2, 3, 5, and then there's a conclusion. So there's 5. So 4 and 5 are just basically inference the best explanation.
Okay. So you're saying 1, 2, and 3 is modus ponens?
Yep. You
Okay.
idiot.
And you think that
It's abductive. This is an abductive argument.
what form do you think modus ponens takes?
If P,
If P,
then Q,
then Q. Yep.
P,
P.
therefore Q.
Yep. Therefore Q.
Mhm.
So you think that these 3 follow the form if P then Q, P therefore Q?
So if the universe began, then it has, so there's an if then statement.
Yep.
Uh-huh. And then the universe began, P,
Mhm.
Whatever begins to exist has a cause Q.
Yep. So
Yep.
the actual
Makes sense.
Q. So what
The
would Q
form
here
follows
be?
it.
So you're saying we have
A
for the first
cause.
one. This is really funny to me. So for the first one, you're saying this is if P then Q,
So if the universe begin, then it has a cause.
and then we have down here we have P, and then
Uh-huh.
you're saying that the third one is going to take the
And then
form
whatever
Q.
begins to exist has a cause is Q.
Q. Okay, sure. So then if we came back up here, so you're saying that in all instances Q is whatever begins to exist has a cause. So
If P
it has a
then
cause
Q,
is
universe
whatever
began,
begins to
P.
exist has a cause.
Well, you put my premises.
If that were true, then you'd be able to come back here when it says if P then Q, and you'd be able to insert the Q up here, and it would match, but it doesn't.
Wait, what'd you say?
If what Q represented was whatever begins to exist has a cause, then you'd be able to look back up at your first premise, if P then Q, and you'd be able to
So
see
it's-
whatever begins to exist has a cause, but it's not.
So it's if P then Q, it has a cause. Whatever begins to exist has a Q. Idiot. The justification is Q.
There's no way. There's no way.
But okay, if P then
Okay.
Q, so if the
I'm going to move on to another conversation, as fun as that is. Hey, how's it going?
Yo, what's up?
Yep. Yeah. What's up? What do you got
Hey,
this
Z.
time?
Yeah, so okay, so I've had some, time to think about what you said. I'm a necessitarian now, actually. Like
Based.
there's just no way of getting out of the modal collapse. I'm still a theist for
Mhm.
like reasons, but like I'm on thin ice with that. Like if anything, I'm more of a Spinoza like believing type person now. But I mean, I know that's controversial as to whether that's even theism. But anyway, so I know you take like the big crunch model or something or whatever.
Yeah. I take
Uh,
it pretty seriously. Yeah.
Right. I've heard, and again, this is a super, super like surface level reading of it. But from my understanding, for that model to, I guess take place, there's certain aspects. Like Sean Carroll talks about like them having to be fine tuned in order to infinitely like go back or go forward. It's something along that line.
Yeah,
So
that could be.
I'm just curious. Right. So like I guess why that model over something like I don't know. I think he wrote a paper about like a new model like quantum something. But you haven't read it.
I haven't read that. Yeah. So I hold the big bounce, big crunch because we have good empirical evidence that a big crunch is going to happen in the future. So we have like empirical evidence suggesting that this just kind of is the universe that we live in. If you're asking for maybe like an explanatory thing, like, what explains the fact that we live in a big bounce, big crunch model, well, that's going to come down to like physics that's well beyond my understanding. And in fact, I think it's physics that might not even exist. But basically, one of the big questions right now, so I accept that there's one wave function that describes the evolution of the entire universe. But a big question is, how do we get from like a wave function, how do all of these different components emerge? Like how does time emerge? How does space emerge? How does
Right.
any of this stuff emerge? And that's still an open question. But I don't know. I think it's something that is getting worked on currently. And it seems plausible that there could be like some method for it to emerge.
Right. That's interesting. So I was debating this earlier today, actually, and they kind of asked, like, okay, well, how does the wave function have, causal, for sure, whatever, inert causal power, or whatever the word they used. And I mean, yeah, I haven't studied. I need to look at mathematical mechanism and all that to be able to, I guess, describe that.
So the wave function isn't causal, it's like grounding. The wave function grounds things, it doesn't really like cause.
Okay, so there is like, if I want to defend this better, I'd say like the wave function is necessarily P, and then Q will just be like the rest of the universe, and then.
Yeah, well, that it's you probably need to look into things like grounding and like emergence, supervenience, but you're just going to say that if you followed like the chain of grounding, so probably you want to say like one state of reality causes the next state of reality, like one slice in the timeline. It gets messy with relativity, but like one slice in the timeline roughly gives rise to like the next slice in the timeline. But all these things reduce to the wave function is the
Right.
claim, that it's
Gotcha.
all this
Okay,
stuff
yeah.
is like grounded in the wave function.
Gotcha. Okay, so then the next question. Lately, like I told you I was doing physics and math. I'm still pretty early. I don't know what's it like now that I'm taking there's so many doors that opened now. There's
Yeah.
like, okay, I could, go maybe get a PhD in physics, PhD in philosophy. Like later on, I don't know what would be best for developing this sort of idea, like making it compatible with theism. Is it compatible with some type of
For sure, philosophy.
like I have philosophy?
Yeah, you won't be able to do any of this stuff if you do like math or like physics. Even things like, so okay, sorry, that's bad advice. You need to be very sure that this is what you want to do. It's a brutally competitive field. You will very likely not make like any money at all if you get like a philosophy PhD. You might not even find employment. The employment situation is like brutal. It's horrible. I don't know. You really have to evaluate this for yourself, but you will not be answering questions like, does the universe reduce to the wave function? Even in like a physics program, you won't be evaluating that. This is more of like a metaphysical question.
Okay, so I guess on the employment and all that part, so I talked to Alexander Proust about it because I mean he's in Texas. He told me there's some other things like I play violin, profession, and all that. So he's like, if you do take the philosophy route, you could, teach a class. Like you have violin, you have certain things and like aesthetic that make you, I guess, different than like the average Joe Schmo PhD, philosophy PhD. About the money thing, I've worked jobs already that I've made like plenty of money. They're just not like satisfying for me. I really don't care about money that much. I mean, I'm in my room all day reading.
Sure.
I mean,
that's
but,
good.
like the point is like, I was just wondering if I did physics, would I be even doing anything close to that? Would it help me at all?
It would
I'm sure
help.
it would, but like,
But
sure
you wouldn't be
would, but-
doing that.
Right, exactly. So like, if I want to learn about quantum mechanics, I can just,
Oh, I'm
have
sorry.
enough
Wait.
calculus.
We got to differentiate our claims. You should read, to understand my perspective on this, you should read The World Inside the Wave, or sorry, the other one. You should read Something Deeply Hidden by Sean Carroll, especially like even like the introduction chapter, I think talks at length about this. The question of like, this stuff is called like foundations of quantum mechanics, like which interpretation of quantum mechanics should we go with? If you get a physics degree, probably what you'll be doing is like experiments. It's very hard to find physics
Theoretical.
programs that will, not even theoretical. This is like, it's not even theoretical. It's like almost like metaphysical. I don't know.
Yeah.
Is Dr. Blitz out there? Dr. Blitz is the right person to.
I was gonna go to his live today, but he's doing flat Earth debates, so I didn't want to
Yeah.
interrupt that. I know this isn't even like a.
But okay. What Sean Carroll expresses is that basically nowhere in physics is interested in actually doing things related to interpretations of quantum mechanics. That's probably why right now, currently, Sean Carroll is employed so he's at Johns Hopkins University, and he works. He has like a dual tenure role between the philosophy department and the physics department. He's in both of them. It's because that's the only place where you can actually do like interpretations of quantum mechanics.
Makes sense.
But
Yeah,
you'll learn
okay.
about quantum mechanics in physics. You just won't do like foundations of quantum mechanics in physics.
Right, because from my understanding, even if I wanted to look at like, okay, what does the structure of this stuff mean through like Hilbert space, studying Hilbert
Yeah.
space, it's still not gonna tell me much. Like, again, it'll just be math. Oh, well, okay. Here's what this tells us about reality. I mean,
Ye-
maybe to some degree, but
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
as much as philosophy.
It'll
Makes
for
sense, makes
sure,
sense.
it'll make it easier when you're going through quantum mechanics. Like if you have a background in quantum mechanics, reading like the philosophy and like the interpretations of it will come easy and natural. But you probably won't be doing like research there.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie. Like, this is crazy because I used to be like a hardcore theist, but now that I'm kind of accepting necessitarianism. Everything else is kind of just like click, 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 click. Like, oh, that's why this. Oh, that's why that. Oh, that's why. Like it's.
Yeah.
Thank you, I guess. For I mean, I know you
Well,
spend a lot of your own time and all that stuff, but
well, yeah. Hey, first of all, I think that's super cool. You know, like welcome aboard. But you know, I don't know if I, you know, you probably don't need to. You could probably be like a theist. You would just need to reject the PSR. Like I think
that's
I think
what
that's
I'm
the
getting at.
dilemma. Either you accept the PSR and you accept necessitarianism, or you reject the PSR.
And yeah, I'm leaning into that boat. Like, I know Spinoza and Leibniz did that. Read them. I haven't read them, but I need to read them. See, you know, what kind of they think about this stuff, and who knows? As of now, I think I'm still a theist, but definitely,
Yeah.
I don't think I can be.
Well, I think that's really cool to hear. That I don't know. I think it reflects well in terms of like your intellectual honesty, because a lot of people like they just, you know, and I fall into this sometimes where I'll be arguing to win. And there are moments where I need to take a step back and like genuinely reflect on like, okay, is my position even sustainable on like a certain topic, and I'll have to reevaluate it, adjust it, etc. But I don't know, like I really commend you. I think that's like a great characteristic.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And yeah, I think that's what I was trying to do. Like my first two, like lives on here, out, you know, arguing to win. But then whenever I actually, you know, think about these things and what they entail, I mean, there is just an impossibility to get out of.
Yeah.
Like, okay, if I'm gonna be intellectually honest, I could try to make, you know, mental gymnastics about it and say like that, but it just doesn't work.
Yep. Is there anything else you wanted to talk about?
No, that was it.
Okay. Hey, thanks so much for coming on up. Appreciate you.
Thanks. Yep.
All
Thanks
right.
for your time.
Yep. Later. Let's get a big W for that guy. I don't know. It's really cool hearing that we've changed people's minds. I think it's really nice when people. This will come up a lot, especially if you go on your own personal like philosophy reading journey. You will change your mind about a fuck ton of things. I don't know, like. I remember me with ethics. At first, I was like, well, consequentialism is obviously true. And then I looked into it, and it turns out consequentialism is obviously false. And then I was like, well, it has to be like deontology. And then it turns out there are probably problems with deontology. I'm not sure that it's like as obviously false as like most consequentialism. And now I'm like convinced that like virtue ethics is true. Same thing with like I don't know, like it happens a lot where you're like, okay, well, surely there's a way to salvage this position against this argument, and there just kind of isn't. I don't know. I used to run like a lot of like logical problems of evil, and I was like, oh, well, you can't get out of this logical problem of evil. And now I'm like pretty sure that there's like a theist out there that can for most of the ones that I was running. Yeah, I don't know. You'll just change your mind about a lot of things. Anyway, let's read supers. Dr. Fudge, thanks so much for the super chat. You should make a "It's so cool to be gay, let's throw a party" shirt. I should. We got a merch. We got a merch max. Here's a sticker idea that I have. It's a reference. I think it's from like a Call of Duty game, but I think a great sticker would be, you know, remember, it's quicker to switch to your ad hom than it is to engage. I think it's a banger. But anyway. Carl Grimes, thanks so much for the super chat. Positive affirmations. I grew up being told from the age of 7 how wicked it was to be gay, and I prayed for 15 years to not be. Evil argument. True. Yeah, it's like crazy how people who are like berated for being gay, explicitly discouraged from being gay, like somehow, I don't know, it's Pacho, thanks so much for the $20 Venmo. Doomed to do the God debate on the gay day and the gay debate on the God day. And that last caller's defense, I'm not sure he could read or had object permanence. True. He was just hoping that it said what it previously said. True. Andrew Coates, thanks so much for the $50 Venmo. Yeah, let's get a massive W for Andrew Coates. I really appreciate that. I don't know. It's super chats like this I've decided to enroll in a college course this summer, but also the guy that I'm enrolling in it with, he's like a philosopher that I really respect. He teaches a philosophy of religion course too in the fall, or yeah, in the fall. And I think I'm going to enroll in that one too. But I don't know, these like big super chats, they go a long way for me to be able to do things like that, to be able to enroll in like university courses. One day I think I'd like to get like a master's degree. But depending on where I end up, you know, I'm of course going to be still streaming at like regular times, but to get like a degree, well, it's going to take like, you know, I'm going to need to fund it somehow. So I really appreciate this. Eat some shorts. Thanks so much for the super chat. Name dropping Blitz and spewing pseudoscience is akin to hitting both powers at once. True. You say, hey, check this one out, Dr. Blitz. I'm about to collapse the wave function with my consciousness. And then Dr. Blitz has like a triple heart attack. Rob Low, thanks so much for the super chat. Is there any reason why YouTube is not showing your streams on my feed? All my settings are friendly and correct. I adore your content. I don't know. YouTube could just be a sick fuck. Who's to say? Bacon and Bush, thanks so much for the super chat. Fuck yes. Feelings. Fella is in a lot of emotional pain right now. True. Grimmy, thanks so much for the super chat. Guest, we call God a cuck, and I don't think we were being sarcastic. Literally. The not operator, thanks so much for the super chat. Ian is a handsome Daniel Radcliffe. Thanks. I appreciate it. I wasn't even wearing my Daniel Radcliffe stuff. Barnabas, thanks so much for the $5 super chat. Caller is actively disproving the intelligence of an intelligent design. True. Big W for a Barnabas. Virtuous Pat, thanks so much for the super chat. This guy is the king of sea lions. Absolutely, yes, he is. Yeah. Pooh Bear Thought, thanks so much for the super chat. This dude has a favorite booth at the Applebee's when his kids. I'm sorry. That's probably fucked up. I don't want to. In fact, I think I might even disavow this one. Listen, I don't know. There's probably a lot of divorced dads out there. What I will say is that I think it's like pretty clear. I think it's like pretty clear why this guy is a divorced dad, you know? But fuck. Pecho, thanks so much for the super chat. Caller is not enraged that he feels the need to remind you every 3 seconds how not enraged he is. God's least enraged soldier, the picture of emotional discipline. Yeah, truly, he's like Zen. He's like fucking meditating. You know, he's in his chambers meditating the Bach. That's how unbothered he is. Nightman Comment, thanks so much for the super chat. Jesse has for sure been kicked out of more than one of his estranged child's Little League games. True. Sometimes maybe he pulls up to the Little League game. He doesn't even have a kid anymore, but he just wants to fight with the other dads. You know, he goes over to one section and he's like, you know, is that your kid? Your kid sucks. And then he gets into like a fight with the other dads. Anything to feel the touch of another human, am I right? Bug, thanks so much for the super chat. Why did Jesse get so docile and submissive when Dr. Blitz showed up? May I please speak now, sir? I don't know. I did notice that, you know, suddenly he got all, when as soon as Dr. Blitz came up. Which is fine, you know, me too, right? You know, yeah, don't we all? But Dr. Fudge, thanks so much for the super chat. Putting up with Jesse's impotent boomer rage at a world that makes him feel stupid deserves payment. I appreciate that. Let's get a big W for Dr. Fudge. Laura Lee Ashley, thanks so much for the $10 super chat. Let's get a big W. Oh, is it L'Oreal? I think I feel confident in L'Oreal. Let's get a big W for L'Oreal Ashley. Big W. Prometheus, thanks so much for the super chat. Gravity is a theory, and quantum physics and quantum mechanics is in its infancy, by the way. That's, well, I mean, that's true, I guess. But, like, yeah. He has a winky. I'm pretty sure it's, yeah. Explain black matter and the expansion. You mean dark energy? You mean dark matter, maybe even? Prometheus, thanks so much for Super Chat. Under what force are spiral galaxies not spinning out planets and stars? I'm not really sure what that's asking. Prometheus, thanks so much for Super Chat. 90% of matter is unknown. Hashtag brutal reality. That could be. There's like some sense in which that's true, right? Like we certainly haven't seen it. Kieran, thanks so much for Super Chat. In the last 48 hours, I've seen Matthew ruin himself with Blitz, Quantonaut, Eric Peterson, and now Ian. Imagine being that incapable of learning. I can only assume he's incapable of shame. I don't know why he does it. It's like every day, too. He just comes on, gets humiliated. Tyler Ring Soul, thanks, or Tyler Ingersoll. That's you coached me on your name. Tyler Ingersoll. Thanks so much for Super Chat. Running Randall won't debate until he's read the whole Bible. However, YouTube channel Alslas Varela does live Q&A with Reincarnated Christ. You should debate the channel for a video. True. I don't know. I'm thinking about doing that. You know, I'll have to go. I'll have to start like fucking hunting people down. Kieran Dave, thanks so much for the Super Chat. My favorite part of Matthew is how, despite mentioning the Kalam about 65,000 times in the past week, he cannot recite it from memory whenever asked. True. Allegedly, Ian, thanks so much for the Super Chat. Thank you for the 1,000 bits. I appreciate you. Big W, the dude. Wait. Did I just read out my own name? The dude in SF. Thanks so much for the 1,000 bits. I'm an idiot. I'm a moron. Oops. Grimlock, thanks so much for the $25 Cash App hydration donation. One hydration coming right up. Thanks so much, Grimlock. I appreciate you. I really appreciate having you on the channel too. Like having you, I don't know, you're like an active part of the community. I really appreciate you. I appreciate that you've been here for so long. I appreciate the seemingly like infinite money that gets sent my way. I really do appreciate that. That means like a ton to me. Like seriously, not just for this super chat, but for all of them. Thank you so much. Draconic Dritz, thanks so much for the super chat. Ian and Dr. Blitz team up as the Dragon Megazord. I missed what has been described to me as like the best guest that has ever been on Unapologetic. It's like the best fucking unapologetic guest, and I'm gone for it. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. It's not fair. It's not fair. He was just on Justin's live. Fuck. Dude, I need to get this dude in my life or something. Anyway, I'm ending stream, but Justin's live right now. Go check him out. Wait, do I have a... One sec. Let me make sure that I have nothing ready to post. Okay, I have nothing ready to post. That's totally fine. Have a good one. See you all later. Oh, the book club, of course. We're doing a book club. We're reading Rosalind Hursthouse On Virtue Ethics. We're reading the first chapter. If you weren't here this last weekend, it's 8 p.m. EST. Every other Saturday is what we're going to do, because the book is a bit harder than Michael Huemer's Knowledge, Reality, and Value. We're going to give you 2 weeks. You know, go through it slowly. You want to digest philosophy books in bites. You don't want to try to like, for something like Knowledge, Value, and Reality, you might be able to like plow right through that. You know, you can cruise right through it. But I don't know, for like more difficult books, you want to go slow. So we're going to give everyone 2 weeks for each chapter. Right now we're reading chapter 1, which is the chapter on action. Basically, what Rosalind Hursthouse does here is her main critics are the deontologists and the utilitarian, claiming that, you know, there's virtue ethics doesn't give clear prescriptions as to what you should do, unlike deontology and utilitarianism. But Rosalind Hursthouse beats the fuck out of these stupid fucks and points out that yes, it does. It tells you that you should be, and then all the virtues, right? Like you should be honest and you should be generous in the same way that, you know, utilitarianism tells you that you should, I don't know, like do the action that you should take is the one that maximizes utility. So I don't know. That's basically it's good. It's great. But it's at 8 p.m. EST this Saturday. I'd love to see you there. It's on Saturday 20th. Anyway, love all of you. It's Rosalind Hurst House is on Virtue Ethics. All right, see you later. Have a good one.